Greetings, Band Warriors. Greetings. Greg is back for another live stream. Let's talk energy. We're going to be talking about energy tonight. I just realized my voice sounds a little off. Wonder why. I've been doing breath work. I've been consistently doing breath work since before the new year, every single day. Right? Every single day, probably minimum 20 minutes, maximum over an hour and a half. It's been incredible. Breathwork has been an incredible addition, right? I think I would call it an addition to my healing practices, the healing arts that I engage with each and every day. And so I just keep breathing. And I'm looking forward to helping other people start to do some breathing. I'm going to be launching the Breath of Life Healing Circle coming up the first weekend of May. I do have the order ready on the website, so you could get on there if you're interested in signing up, checking it out. I think it's going to be probably the most incredible course that I've offered thus far. I mean, the breath. How's everybody doing tonight? Lindsay's. Yeah, breath work. Anybody practice breath work on a regular basis? We're going to incorporate breath with journaling, doing some reflections, some visualization. How's everybody doing tonight? So it's going to kind of incorporate those three pieces: breath, the journaling, and the visualization. Hello, Bike Life Josh. Everyone else that's getting on here. We could talk about life tonight. We could talk about energy. Anything else that comes up. What do I do? You bark back, man. Join the bark. Be like everyone else. Join the bark. If everyone's jumping off the cliff, everyone's outraged, you should be outraged too. You should be too. I wanted to talk about just energy. What kind of energy do you emit? There's a lot of people that are centered on themselves, confident in themselves, or are most of you underneath the surface, a little hidden, maybe a little self-conscious? It's difficult for you to write. Yeah, maybe that's something you could work on. I mean, unless you have like some kind of a physical thing, then journaling is just, it's one of the most powerful practices in terms of reflection, right? What's more powerful than reflection? What's up, Isabella? Right? Prior to getting sober, prior to really healing a lot of my emotional wounds, I mean, I used to be the guy thought I had it all figured out in my head, just kind of like, playing it off. Yeah, that's a good. I love that Jasper Mango is calling you out, saying you ain't got a reason, man. there's no reason not to, right? Technology, you can do the voice or orating. I don't even know what that's called, but yeah, you can voice chat it in there. And that's the important thing, right? Results kill excuses, excuses kill results. To me, there's nothing more powerful though than definitely writing it down. If you have the ability to write it down, then that's one thing. What I know most people have resistance towards though, so it's physical. Yeah, you would probably get a lot out of writing though. Writing can be very meditative. It's just different, right? In the whole age of type, it's not the same. It's not the same. They never said that the keyboard is mightier than the sword. They said the pen is mightier than the sword. And to me, when they said that, the sword was the most lethal weapon of its time. So to me, what they really meant is the pen is the mightiest of all weapons. And the reason why the pen is so mighty, right? I got my journal right here. I got a few journals here, right? I got the 1% Everyday Journal. Starting volume 2, got more journals. But I think the reason why they say, right, and this is the results kill excuses pen, 4 colors. I love the colors, right? It's a throwback to when we were kids. So I journal different colors every day. If I flip through my journal here, I think it just makes it more fun, right? There's a page where I use multiple colors multiple times, lots of different colors. Life should be colorful. A lot of people are living very mundane, dull lives. Very dull life. Is your life dull? Are you constantly searching for happiness? Are you constantly searching for engagement, right? Constantly looking for something to entertain you, to excite you because you're watching it or observing it or even just connecting. You know how hard it is for most people to just sit still, just sit still, connect with your breath, observe your thoughts. You know how hard that is for most? Especially, man, especially when you just, everyone's moving so fast. You've tried it in the past, but you're not a newbie. Yeah, I've heard that story before. Tried it and it didn't work. Right. That's called a fixed mindset. And that's cool. You can have that. Right. Growth mindset is just open. It's saying, I can say that I tried I don't know. There could be something that I could say I tried in the past and I hated it. I hated it. Oh, nutrition, right? I remember I had tried like tofu and vegetarian meals in the past and I hated them. I hated them. I was a meat eater. And then 2020 came and I switched up my whole entire nutrition, went plant-based, and I loved it. And I still love it. But again, when you're just like, I'm an old dog, can't teach me new tricks, then you're right. You're not here to learn new tricks. You got it all figured out. But again, what you can't argue with is literally the science behind how your brain and the neurological function of when you write something down. You don't have to write a whole biography, right? And that's kind of one of the cool things. I guess I should plug this, right? It's sitting here. It is one of the cool things about the 1% Better Everyday Journal is if you hate writing things, this is a throwback to being like in 6th grade, 7th grade. These are worksheets. And it has everything that you would do instead of just staring at a blank piece of paper. You're sitting here writing about, just positive affirmations, gratitude. What are you grateful for? That's that little jar right there. That little jar right there, you're going to fill it up with all the things you're grateful for. Then the next jar, what are the things you love? Right? Starting every day with positivity. And it's like, oh, I hate to write. Well, no one's asking you to make an essay. No one's going to check your grammar. And then down here, there's just a quick 2 little reflections, right? One of them is what did you do right yesterday? A lot of us, we don't give ourselves credit. We don't give ourselves credit. We're so busy with so many things we're doing, but we're not actually doing what matters, right? So here you're going to write, look, what did I do good or right? And then, right, what could you do better? This is called accountability. And if you're someone that feels stuck, but you're like, I don't know, man, I don't want a diary. A lot, especially guys, right? Guys are real resistant because there was all that stigma about diaries back in the day, and it was a girls type activity, writing, reflecting, and it's like it's been one of the most powerful um, practices along my healing journey, along my spiritual awakening. I mean, especially once I'm doing the breath work, which we're launching the Breath of Life Healing Circle online group, and it's going to have some journaling. It's going to have some things to reflect on. We're going to do some visualization, and we're also going to do breath work. And in both the visualizations and in the breath work, you're going to get messages and you're going to get downloads. You're not going to remember that shit. Just like dreams, you got to write it down. Just today, right? Every day I'm doing breath work. I'm writing down, I'm getting all kinds of downloads. Downloads on things to do, visualizations on things to do, right? It's constant. But that's having a growth mindset, right? If you think your brain is just going to figure everything out and get everything sorted out, you are stressed. I guarantee you are overwhelmed and stressed in a lot of areas of life. And if you could just embrace the idea, I don't care if you have just a notebook and a pen, or if you want something that's more structured, the 1% Better Everyday Journal right here. Oh, you just start with some gratitude jar, right? It's fun, right? Just writing down all the things you love, things you're grateful for, the things you love. There's even a morning mindful practice checklist, right? Hello from London. I love being international. I love the international global audience, man. That means so much to me. Thank you so much for chiming in here tonight. What did you do right? What could you do better? And then every day you write down things that matter. Then it gets funner, right? Because this is every day. These are everyday sheets for the 91 days of this journal. Then you have this big cloud here, which is where you write down all your I am affirmations, right? I am kind. I am loving. I am strong. I am healthy. I am abundant. I am sexy. I am beautiful, right? Whatever you need to write down here to start reinforcing and programming positive versus the negativity. And then this lower half of page 2 is where I've built in a course that covers self-sabotage to self-mastery that is also tied in with the Results Kill Excuses app. If you haven't downloaded the app, you should type in those 3 magic words. It's free to download. Results Kill Excuses. But when you download the app, what you get is right here, you got the 1% Better Everyday Journal. You come in here and you basically have 5 phases and videos. I think this is the walkthrough video. So you got a lot of support, but then you got the 5 phases. So phase 1 through 5. And as you can see on here, there's just me teaching classes about everything about self-sabotage, triggers, free auto writing. We're talking about emotions, week 2 recap, forgiveness letters. I mean, it's packed. Yeah, man, if you want to just hit me up in terms of any kind of coaching, right? Just reach out, Greg at, yeah, if anybody's interested in coaching, Greg at resultskillexcuses.com in terms of coaching. Yeah, you can get the app in either of the stores. Just type in Results Kill Excuses. And the journal's in the store. If you order, the journal is right here. Yeah, the journal's there. You can order it there. You can order it on the Results Kill Excuses .com website. So the app is results kill excuses, and it's free to download. There's actually 5 just downloaded the app. Nice. I mean, on the app right now, I shouldn't even have this shit for free no more, to be honest with you, because I think if people paid for it, they would value it more. But I just have like a big heart, and I wanted to put out some really good content for people to start with what I call self-discovery work, which is the first thing that happens after you do the self. When you're done sabotaging yourself, self-destructing, self-medicating, and you want to start like getting some positive traction underneath you in life, what I've experienced in my 13 years of healing is I had to rediscover who I was. I had to get to the core of who I was. And so I put together 5 courses on the Results Kill Excuses app that are right now free. And it's the same material. There's worksheets. You can print them out, or you can order a workbook, which I have the workbook here. The first 5. I got a lot of shit, man. It's like, I know a lot of people just talk. I know a lot of y'all just want to be entertained, but I actually, I'm here for, because I'm a coach, because I'm a healer. And because I want to leave a legacy that I made a positive impact in this world, right? That I made a difference, that it wasn't just all about me. It wasn't just all about my team. It wasn't just all about the social issues. It wasn't just all about the politics. It wasn't just all about yummy food. It wasn't just all about having fun. It was like, fuck, man, like maybe at some point in my life, I elevated and said, you know what? Let me get me right and then see what happens from there. And so once I got me right, no longer was the sports, entertainment, politics, food, drink, any of that shit really applicable to my life. I would much rather be a difference maker on this planet, someone that inspires change in others, positive change. Right? And so I know what I'm preaching, it's not popular yet. But what I am seeing in terms of a trend is a lot of people are having mental breakdowns, emotional breakdowns, right? Self-inflicted. And the reason for this is that you're looking outside a window versus in the mirror. You're not willing to look in the mirror and saying, hey, you're looking outside the mirror, you're looking at all the chaos and all the stuff that's going on in this world. And it's like, what are you going to go do about it? What are you going to do about all the stuff going on outside in this world, right? What are you going to do about it other than worrying and complaining? What are you going to do about it? Most of you won't do shit. Most of you won't do anything about it. The masturbating? I don't even know. The masturbating. How do I feel about that masturbating? Yeah, there's probably too much of that going on too. And I bet you do it more than anybody else. Fuck. Good one. That's the problem, right? All the clowns out there, they're full of jokes because their life's a joke, right? That's the thing I see the most. Right. Everyone that thinks they're a fucking joker, comedian, is because their life is a joke. So that's all you got. That's all you got. Right? It's all you got. And it's like, it's time to grow up. And that's a sad thing, especially for men. It's time to grow the fuck up. Be an adult. Get some masculinity under you. Start living for a purpose. And it's not just to fucking talk shit, to cheer on other motherfuckers in terms of sports. and just be living outside yourself as if it's your team, and none of it's yours. None of it's yours, man. You're the team captain of your life. Let us shine a light. Let us figure out what's really going on in your life. And most of y'all are totally afraid to allow that to happen because you're living a lie. You're not living authentic yourself, who you are. Because who you are in your mind, you've told yourself that you're not good enough. And that's a lie. I'm not here to just bash people. I'm here to elevate people by saying all that shit that's in your head that makes you think this is what is important in this world. It ain't important. What's really important is putting in the effort in your own personal life to get a little better every single day. That is the mantra, 1% better every day. That's what the journal's all about. When you start writing down things that matter to you and you want to start actually taking ownership and accountability of your life, you're unstoppable. You're unstoppable. There's nothing more important. 1% better every day, 365, 24/7, no days off. No days off. And what I mean by no days off, right? Most of y'all live for the weekend, right? Dying for the weekend. You can purchase the journal through the app. If you click on the 1% better every stuff, it says purchase it here. You could go to the resultskillexcuses.com. And I think it's even in the description down below of this live stream. It should be in there. So there's lots of places to find that, but resultskillexcuses.com is the main shop. And the thing that I probably hear the most is a lot of people say, man, I ain't got time for journaling. I'm like, what do you mean you don't got time for journaling? Journaling will save you time. Wait, how could that save me time, right? This is the conversations I have all the time. How can 30 minutes to an hour first thing in the morning save me time? I don't have that. Well, first, you need to start going to bed at a reasonable time, as I see 222, right? Waking up a little bit earlier. And here's the thing. When you start writing things down, when you actually start to clear out your mind, put this stuff down on paper, guess what? You're going to be less likely to be sitting there distracted, twiddling your thumbs, saying, I know I have things to do, but I don't really feel like doing those things. So I'm going to just twiddle my thumbs here, be distracted, waste my time, waste my life, and wonder why I wake up someday with just so much regret because I didn't accomplish shit. When if you invest the time in the morning, right, you're going to clear your mind. You're going to start actually writing things that matter to you. That's a big part of the 1% better everyday journal is every week, every month, and every day you write things down that matter to you. Things you want to accomplish that week, that month, and that day. Every day writing things. And these don't have to be huge things. It's not like, oh, I'm going to climb Mount Everest today. No. It's like, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to go sign up for a membership. I'm going to, something that matters to me today is that could be doing my 1% better every day journal. Something else that matters to me is to, spend some quality time with my family or my loved ones. I mean, it doesn't have to be grandiose shit, but the fact is that when you start writing shit down, right? I'm a bad boy, but a good man. That's how I play it out. So don't get that one twisted. When you start to write this shit down, I truly do believe that you start to build your self-confidence, your self-esteem, your self-worth, right? But for whatever reason, we have become so complacent, right? We can spend hours, and I get caught up sometimes. hours doing that shit. But you're saying you ain't got an hour to wake up in the morning and fucking make your day, right? Slay your day, right? Locked in, fucking like, man, I'm gonna like set an intention that I'm not waking up like my life's an accident. Eric Thomas back in the day. You're gonna start waking up with some intention because there's something greater than just doing whatever you're doing now, because most people are so unhappy. Be honest with yourself. Most statistics say 87% of people hate their jobs. That's 9 out of 10 people. I know I'm talking to you. And if you're someone that's the exception, great. I'm not calling you out. It's the people that are dissatisfied and then acting as if you're helpless. Acting as if, what else am I supposed to do? There is so much motivation. This is actually a part of the 1% Better Everyday Journal, because we go from self-sabotage, then you start going into self-discovery, then self-development. And I think in one of the courses in that, I'm talking about visualizing your future and challenging yourself. And there's an example where you got to do research about somebody that um, is in a similar situation. One of the assignments that's really cool is you have to research somebody that's successful, but that has been through a similar situation that you're in, right? Like, maybe just hardship in life. It's like, who is your role model? And then I want you to research, right, that successful people don't just wake up and are born successful. They earn this shit. And they're no different than anybody here. The only difference is they didn't give up. That's it. That's what it takes. They believed in themselves more than anybody else, and they did not give up until they won. And most people, there was a guy on here earlier talking about, I tried writing stuff down. I don't want to do that. It's like, all right, bro. I used to be like that too about a lot of things. Fixed mindset, closed mindset. That's the energy. You're putting out energy that's saying you're closed off. You're closed, right? And when you're closed, how do you expect for things to start working out in your favor when you are shut down energetically? You're closed-minded. You're closed, right? I mean, to truly be open means like, man, you've let go of judgment. You're not worried about what other people think or are doing or are saying about you. You're just focused on you. That is the most magnetic thing you can do. You want to become popular? You want to become attractive? Man, get centered on yourself. And literally, one of the examples that I found in my own research in looking for role models was, and this is multiple people, but literally this one woman went from being the janitor at a hospital to a registered nurse. She was literally the janitor at the same hospital that, like, it took her 5 years. I think it probably took her 5 fucking years, night school, day school, whatever kind of school, but she made it happen. And what are you doing? What's your excuse? Oh, I don't have the time. Right? It's excuses. We're full of them. Why do you think this brand exists? Because most people out there are unhappy, are dissatisfied with their quality of life, their accomplishments in life, and yet you're full of excuses as to why you can't go and get it, whatever it is. You're not competing against anybody except for the person that is looking you in the mirror. And yet that's the one place that so many of you hate to look. You hate to look in a mirror. You hate to look in a mirror. You do it a little bit, but you You're so critical of yourself. You're so judgmental. It's like you can't even look in the mirror, give yourself a high five and say, I love you so much. A kiss, I love you. This should be a daily practice. I love you. I hope you have a wonderful day. You need to be your best friend. Who else is going to show up for you? Who else? You need someone else to, right? You need someone else to validate you, to tell you you look nice, to tell you that you're such a kind person, to tell you they love you so that you somehow have meaning to your life. That's a rough one, bro. I appreciate I get it, man. I appreciate that vulnerability. And you're not alone, man. You're not alone. That's why I'm out here. I'm out here, right? I'm out here saying it's like, I hate to say it, it's self rescue. The planet, this world, self rescue. I know there's religions that try and tell you there's a magic trick, but that's in for the afterlife. If you wanna get your shit fixed in this life, you gotta be the one to fix your shit. Ain't nobody gonna come rescue you. And that's what I'm here to help you do, because that's what I did. This is what I've done. And I'm still doing it because ain't nobody gonna fucking rescue my ass. No one's gonna get it done for me, man. No one's gonna do any of the things that I'm trying to do. And I'm trying to do a lot of things right now because I feel like there's a sense of urgency, because I know a lot of people are suffering. I know people are suffering because I was suffering. And I'm just trying to operate from my heart to say, you know, how do I keep improving myself every day, right? I'm holding myself accountable. I'm on the same fucking program that I'm serving up. What most of you may not realize, I'm my own biggest fan. That when this message goes out, I'm the guy that hears that message first. I love the message first and foremost because everything I'm saying is literally me talking into a mirror. What I need to hear today to keep going, to stay locked in, to keep believing no matter how tough it gets, no matter how um, challenging life is, no matter what comes my way. And every day, man, some shit pops up, but I'm not focused. The blessing of my life is I don't waste time looking out the window. Do y'all understand what I mean by that? When you are looking out the window, it's distraction, right? It's total distraction. And it's literally, it's even worse than just being a distraction, you guys. What it is it's an attempt for someone to rob you, right? And it's not always a bad thing. I use rob and it makes it sound bad, but you can just say drain you of your energy. Because the more focus you put on someone, guess what? You're sending your energy, you're giving your energy to someone else. And especially if your emotions are attached to this. That's like why I'm saying, what energy do you emit? Are you someone that's emitting energy that a professional sports team, which you have no direct affiliation with, is your team and you guys are the best and you kick everyone's ass, but it's like you're not on the team? Is that what you're admitting out there? That you're a fanboy, that you're a cheerleader, right? That's what you put out there. It's distraction. And yet when we're living in a world that's self-rescue, when you're willing to put hours upon hours upon hours upon hours, you can't even add it up. When I was a sports fanatic, it was wall to wall. It was wall to wall, man. I mean, I had to have been putting in 6+ hours a day on sports and probably 10 other times. And when I was a political junkie, I probably used to do 6 to 10 hours of political junkie bullshit when I was a political junkie. And it's like I don't pay attention to any of that shit. Does that mean that I don't look at any news? Yeah, I do it real brief though, and I look at a few different opposite sides of the spectrum. I say, okay, what is this opposite side saying, and what are this opposite side saying? I do a quick scroll, and I get off there, and I get the snapshot, and I say, okay, the world's still chaotic. My life is peaceful. My life is what I have control over. Thank you, Keith. And most of you would benefit from ghosting yourself from the distractions. Most of you would accomplish your wildest dreams, would absolutely accomplish your wildest dreams if you were to break up with your team. If you broke up with your team and said, you know what, I ain't got time to sit there watch the whole game. I'll watch a highlight and I'll just check the scores. If you would use that time, reinvest that time in working on developing yourself, developing new skills, learning things where you have weakness, learning how to either improve the things you're strong at, right? Develop new skills, you would accomplish your greatest dreams. Y'all have heard me talk about this, right? The out of body experience I had. That's a great question. I'll answer that. So the best advice that I could give to the 25-year-old version of me, right? So that's 20 years ago, right? If this man was talking to the 25-year-old version of me, I was a little different in my mid 20s. In my mid 20s, man, I had a big bag. I ran a promotional products company. And so one of the problems with the advice that I give to that guy, in general, what I would give to someone in their 20s would say, look, no drinking, no smoking, no fucking partying, man. Most people want to party in their 20s, and then they're trying to pick up the fucking pieces in their 30s and 40s. And it's like, no. Learn as many things as possible in your 20s, right? If you're somebody that hated school, kindergarten through 12th grade, I understand that. You're an adult now, and so you probably just want to check the fuck out. But here's the thing. I would highly recommend you learning as many things that you have interest in. There's something called a career interest assessment. And so when you do the career interest assessment, it actually aligns you with things that you actually have a natural gift for, a knack for, a deep interest with. So a lot of time, because see, here's the problem. When you're a kid, there's a lot of external influences telling you what you should do. Yes? And a lot of people kind of resist that and they shut down because everyone told them what to do. And then we kind of get rebellious because now we're an adult. Now you can't fucking tell me what to do. And yet that's why 87% of people are miserable. And so in order to not join the ranks of 87% of the people that are miserable doing whatever the fuck they're doing for a bag, it would be for you to figure out, what do you truly love to do that you would do to making no money, but figuring out how to become the best at what that is. And the way you do that is you do it when you're young. You master those skills. Don't get caught up on the drink. Don't get caught up on the smoke. No chemicals, man. Create a sober, healthy lifestyle. Work out, get your mind right, meditate, breathe, learn new things every single day, so that by the time you get to your 30s, you have enough skills that you have enough skills and enough experience that you can lock in and build your empire in your 30s. And then you'll live that 10 years for your 30s. If you stay locked in, you're going to be unstoppable. I mean, everybody's going to be like, oh, this guy's so lucky. This girl's so lucky. That's what I would tell the 20-year-old version of myself. Yeah, we need way more than God's word, though. We need way more than that, man. Thanks, though. Right? We need so much more than that right now. We need a lot more than that, man. That religion, the religion, it ain't working for people no more. It doesn't work because again, there's four parts to health, right? Most people don't think that, right? When I say health, most of you are just thinking like your physical, right? But to me, what I have figured out is there's mental health, which is number one, emotional health, which is number two, spiritual health, which is three, and then physical health. And then the fourth one would be the fifth that kind of completes the hand is financial health. You get your mind right, you have the clarity to start working through the emotions. And most people, most, not all, most of us are walking around with unhealed trauma from our childhoods, and we're acting as if it's not still there. This guy's so funny. It's, I hate to use the phrase, it's never too late, but it's better now than never. How about do that? How about do that? Lock in now, right? Straighten your shit out now. Do it now. Number one is the mind, though, right? If you have to still be drinking and using chemicals, just don't even bother, man. Just keep doing you. If you really want to fucking live an incredible life, that shit has to get checked. You gotta check your chemical dependency. And here's the thing, most chemical dependency is rooted in unhealed, you guessed it, trauma. That's where it comes from, right? When I started falling in love with alcohol, because that's how I look at it, right? Any addiction is literally a relationship. When I started falling in love with alcohol, I was in my freshman year of high school, right? I was a freshman playing varsity football at a private school, Catholic school. I was a badass motherfucker then. I'm a badass motherfucker now, but I'm a badass motherfucker now for a whole different reason, right? I'm a badass motherfucker because I do life on life's terms, right? Sobriety, total sobriety. I don't fuck my feelings. I feel my feelings. That's what makes me a badass motherfucker. Certified. But back then, I was a badass motherfucker just because I was a tough kid. And I played varsity football as a freshman at a Catholic high school that my mom really couldn't afford, but I was there on a scholarship. But I started hanging out with upperclassmen, right? Juniors and seniors playing varsity football, and those motherfuckers knew how to get wasted. Wasted. I hit my first million at about your age, 27. Unfortunately, in 2008, 2009, when the economy fell off the cliff, I lost it all, man. I lost it all. So I don't even just talk about the sobriety. I mean, I know I've had the total wipeout, right? Going big and fucking getting chewed up and spit out. Yeah, I was in my mid 20s when I had over $1 million of real estate investments. I had a booming business rocking, making mid six figures a month in the early 2000s. And that shit went boom. It blew the fuck up. 08, 09. That big collapse. But they do say the comeback is greater than the setback. And that's something I'm still trying to work towards, right? I'm still working towards that. Yeah, I would definitely say I've made it back more, way more. Back then, um, abundance and wealth is, it's one dimensional. And so for me, it's like, I'm sitting in a beautiful ranch house on 21 acres. I rent out parts of the property, 5-star Airbnb. And so I do have a lot of freedom, but I haven't hit most of my goals yet, right? I'm looking at the biggest goals in the next 4 years. Because again, it takes time. And that's what most people want it now. That's why the magic tricks are so, when you hit rock bottom and you start hearing about religious this and, you know, all that, and just say this thing and your life's going to get better, you get locked into that. I mean, there's a lot of hope in it. And I gave it all. I gave my all to that. And it didn't fix the emotional stuff. That's what I was trying to say. When you have the four healths, mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, physical health, if you're super spiritual, right? Super spiritual, I would just say you're religious. A lot of people, there's a guy in here just a minute ago, super religious, talking about you only need God's word and, to be heavenly minded. To me, it's like, if you're so heavenly minded, you ain't no earthly good. And someone named Jesus might get you to heaven, but he's not going to clean up your mess. He's not a maid. And most people will just sit there and use religion as a crutch, as saying, "Oh, I'm good, I'm saved," and that's what matters most. And it's like, yeah, but you haven't healed your emotions. You're insecure. You're still addicted to all kinds of shit. So, but how come Jesus didn't clean out all that, all the closet? Oh, but that's grace. They say grace, right? Grace is the thing. It's all grace, man. He continues to forgive me every day. No one's perfect. That's what they say. No one's perfect. We're not perfect, bro. I'm a sinner, bro. And it's like, but damn, man, why don't you take some responsibility from some of these messes in your life and get your shit fucking squared away? Right? Why don't you have more discipline over what you put in your mouth, what you're putting in your body? Right? Why don't you be a better example? You know what I mean? None of that's bashing Jesus. It's bashing the people that claim that above all things, and their lives are a fucking mess. But then they just say it's only about that. Like, Jesus is enough, bro. And it's like, not really. He's not a fucking maid. But y'all use him as a scapegoat. You're still hanging him on the fucking cross. Because you're not willing to fix your shit and take accountability for your life. You have to be able to do that. And it says in there, man, you gotta, this is a vessel, right? We need to take care for this sacred vessel. So anybody that says that they're a religious person, like, you need to look at their vessel. And if they're like super obese and overweight, but they're like, praise the Lord, it's like, dude, you lose credibility, because clearly your cravings are greater than your beliefs. And that's hard talk, man. Most people, again, everybody wants to just get the quick fix, right? Yeah, it's like, that's the problem, man. It's just, you want to punch that ticket and then you take it easy. It's just like in relationships. So I did this in my marriage. I married for 21 years, because that's like the story we tell ourselves. You know what I mean? Like, get a good solid job, find a pretty woman. I mean, I'm talking from a man's perspective. Get married, settle down. We even call it settling down. Settle down, have some kids, buy a house, take a couple of vacations every so often, whenever. And then what? That life, yay, I did it. I did that. And guess what? I was miserable. I was miserable because I had stopped being the best version of me. The whole settling thing, like, I stopped challenging myself, learning new things, trying new things, because in my emotional traumatic history, right? I have codependency issues. I have abandonment issues. I have rejection wounds. But this is the self discovery. This is what I have been through to figure out myself. And in doing that, that's what gets me on here, so I can speak truth, so I can speak what I have experienced. And I have tried it all. I have tried everything that I could possibly find. And some people are like, why would you try everything? Because who truly understands everything about this life? I'm that curious where I'm like, okay, you telling me your belief is this. If you go fly to, like, most people that are so fucking like hardcore, right? We're coming up on like major Christian holiday right now. And it's like, but people that are so hardcore, they've never been to other parts of the world. And they just assume that whatever they believe in and of itself is everything. And then you meet somebody or you go to another side of the world and you're like, that's good. Don't settle. Don't settle. And then when you just start figuring out, man, there's like, once you start looking at all the pieces objectively, this grand world that we're living on, all the beliefs, all the different cultures, you're just like, there's a mystery to this thing. And some of this shit is like, you look at some of the ancient stuff, some of the things they're just figuring out, the pyramids. Some of this stuff, it just blows your mind. You're like, I don't know, man. Maybe everything that I'm hearing is. I just literally went to, thank you, Jesse, thank you. Appreciate the gift. But that's why I just went to, like, if you know the energetic chart, the lower self is suffering. The upper self is love, joy, peace, and light. But in the middle is this thing called courage. And then above courage is neutrality, neutral, right? Thank you for that. But who here's neutral? I don't have a belief, right? I don't know. I don't know. That's a mystery, right? It's like, and that's why I don't get caught up in those type of beliefs, right? Because it's like, is the earth flat? I don't fucking know, man. I have no idea. I know there's enough evidence for me to go. If I start going down there's two rabbit trails, right? That the earth's flat and that the earth's not flat. And guess what? If you go down either one of those rabbit trails, you're going to believe which both sides have really good arguments scientifically and all this stuff. And it's just like, you either, what are you going to do about that? You're going to be divided. And that's what most things want. Why not just be neutral? Why do you have to hold a belief? How does that impact your life? Knowing whether it is or it's not. To me, it doesn't impact my life to have a belief about that. What I'm concerned about is my energy and the exchange that I have with nature. The exchange that I have with all of the aspects of life that I connect with. That's the only thing I'm worried about, is my energy exchange with those things. Do I show up with energy that is loving and exchanges in a loving, joyful, peaceful way? Or am I a taker? Am I just someone that's always looking to take everything from everything I can get my hands on, right? Take. And then hold on so tight, right? Or am I now somebody that's saying it's not about hustle and grind, it's about surrender and align. What am I trying to align with? My truest self. And for me, first and foremost, that's sobriety. Second, it's healing the emotional wounds. Third, it's connecting with my higher self, my higher conscientiousness. And fourth is all of that then starts to heal the body, because you no longer you raise your standard to such a place that you're not gonna hurt yourself with chemicals. I don't know, man. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. What does it even matter? See, we want to argue about it, right? Someone says it, now you got to argue about it, right? What does it matter? That's a distraction. Why does that matter? Thanks, Kate. I appreciate you tuning in. Right? People want to sit here and argue. See, it's like that's the distraction. Right? It's flat. It's not flat. It's flat. It's not flat. Right? Republicans, Democrats, right? This team, that team, this person, that person. It's like, dude, it's like, what does it matter? What does it matter? Here's what I know is that this life is not the only life. That's what I believe. That's the one thing I believe when I see 999. Right? I believe in reincarnation. I believe that we're eternal souls. I believe that we come down here to this is a big classroom, right? And most people right now, most people on this planet are failing. Failing. If you're all about religion, you're failing. If you're all about sports, you're failing. If you're all about uh, food porn and like how much food you like the best food that you get to eat, you're failing. Right? If you're all about the party, you're failing. If you're only about politics, you're failing. You have to transcend all of that and get to who you are. And that is like really what happened to me. Yes. Look at these fireworks, man. It's the 4th of July over here. What the heck's going on? When I got divorced, 21-year marriage, 5 years ago, I asked myself this question. Who am I? Has anybody ever asked themselves that? Who am I? I definitely believe in reincarnation. I've got evidence to prove it. I told you guys about the reincarnation. Did I show you the picture? I don't even remember if I had shown the picture. I think I get a little distracted. Some of these comments are funnier than hell. So I had this dream. Check this out. I had this dream. I should probably put my hat on. If I put my hat on. So I had this dream about reincarnation. This one guy I used to listen to, David Wilcock. He said, if you ever want to meet one of your reincarnation, your past lives, you'll have a dream, and in the dream you'll shake hands. He said that's the most significant thing. You'll shake hands. And so I had this dream where I shook this guy's hand, and he introduced himself to me as Bob Law. I've never met a Bob Law. I didn't grow up with no Bob Laws, but I met a guy in a fucking dream, and we shook hands, and he says, "I'm Bob Law." And I said, "Okay, nice to meet you." And then so the next day I woke up out of this dream, and I started searching it. I started searching Bob Law, Bob Law, Bob Law, because the guy, that David Wilcock, what was it? Edgar Casey, I think, was his guy, and he would always show the pictures, and there's like similarities. And it's funny because I was at a family dinner recently, and I showed this to even my family members, and they're like, that kind of does look like you a little bit. It's weird. So I was looking up Bob Blah, Bob Blah, Bob Blah, and nothing came up. And then it dawned on me. I was like, wait, Bob is short for Robert. And so I typed in Robert Law, and guess what? Ding, ding, ding. I got a hit. So check this out. Let's see if I think that's probably. There's some pictures there. Let's see if y'all can see that. Let's see. Let's see. Can you guys see that? Does that guy look like me a little bit? Look at even the mustache. It's so funny. That's the funniest shit ever. Look at that guy. Look at that guy. Look at that. That's weird, man. And the crazy thing about Robert Law is he was an airborne ranger in Vietnam. And he was the guy, thank you, Adrian. He was the guy that saved the platoon by jumping on the grenade, and he won the Medal of Honor. It was really interesting. What's really interesting about that is when I was in high school, I had such a big fascination with all the Vietnam movies. Apocalypse Now and Hamburger Hill, just Deer Hunter, like all of these. And yet it's kind of also weird if you were to able to see my, like, below my chest and then where my rib cage is, if it's always felt like it's kind of like, I don't know, like I have a big rib cage, and that's where that wound was, right? Because he jumped right on it with his center of his body. So that's a really interesting thing, to think about that. But I've done the Akashic record stuff too, and in that, a lot of stuff came through in terms of past lives and experiences, and it makes sense. I mean, it resonated with me. You always got to say what resonates with you. If what resonates for you is the earth's flat, then fine, man, let it be flat. If the what resonates is the earth's round, let it be round. If what resonates with you is that Jesus is your savior and that you don't have to do nothing no more, just kind of live a shitty life, but at least you're going to have treasure in heaven. Cool. You can be unhealthy, eat donuts, whatever you want to do. Great. If that's what resonates with you, knock yourself out. That's sort of the thing that we get caught up on in the book The Power of Now. Eckhart Tolle, or Tolle, he talks about how, for soup, yeah, it's a teacup, big ass teacup. In The Power of Now, he talks about how, and I've struggled with this most of my life. He talks about how important it is in ancient times, to be wrong was like death, right? Because you literally had to constantly make decisions because, like, they're going back to like cavemen and shit, that, for you to be wrong, thank you, Michael, then, you'd be unalived. Gotta watch that. You would be unalived. for you to be wrong. And that's why so many people, we fight so adamantly, right, about our beliefs, and we've never even challenged our own beliefs, which is a big part of the healing process. I'm telling you, reprogramming your beliefs, just challenging your beliefs. Most of y'all need to go through a whole process of writing out all of your beliefs. The most basic shit. What do you believe about love? What do you believe about money? What do you believe about success? What do you believe about life? What do you believe about death? You just think you know it, right? Everybody thinks they know it all. But then I guarantee you, if you were to sit there with a paper and write, what do you believe about love? Most of you would struggle to write out more than a sentence. Well, yet's the key word there, man. It's because what the medicine that I'm speaking is it's not popular yet. You're right. It's yet. We're getting there though. We're getting there. Igor, thank you. We're getting there, my brother. It's just not popular medicine yet. And so if you think about it, most people, probably you're carrying around beliefs that you would literally fight over, and it's probably not even your true belief. Think about it. Is there can you even have the confidence to challenge your beliefs, to be like, then most of y'all wouldn't do that as an exercise, because you're like that's because that's like journaling, right? I don't got time for that. I didn't got time to figure out what I believe and what I don't believe, what I'm carrying around inside of me that's holding me back, that's keeping me playing small, sinking my own ship, not opening myself up to truly fulfill my purpose on this planet. Why would I want to take time to figure that stuff out? Because when you actually do find the courage and the clarity, right? This is mental clarity you need to be able to write down all these beliefs. The most powerful thing is when you can grab a pen and a paper and realize this, that you, yes, you are the author and the editor. The author and the editor of your life. So you don't understand not asking yourself those questions. Again, if in your mind, you need to put it on paper. It needs to be documented. You get it out of paper. The minute you write something down, it creates an opportunity, right? The editor, yeah, big question mark there, right? You caught that. That's good. That means you're listening. Thank you for listening, Michael. The editor, bro. See, most people don't even want to acknowledge that you're the author of your life. Your thoughts are your reality. That is why you need to get your thoughts put down on paper. Because when you write down your thoughts, you do not have to live and die by the things you're thinking. You can now edit and say, you know what? I don't like this belief. This belief is holding me back. I'm going to edit it and write a more empowering belief so that I can become better than who I am today. Y'all catch that? The power of that? I mean, it took me hitting rock bottom. It took me saying, I want to trust myself again. That's what it took me doing. Hitting rock bottom, saying enough's enough. I want to trust myself in any situation. I'm tired of creating major problems in my life. I feel that these are avoidable, but I can't figure out why I keep doing this to myself. What's up, Boost? And yet I was on a war path. That's a pretty no pancreas lady. That's a big admission. Good for you. I mean, that's the sad thing, right? That's the really sad thing is that we're our own worst enemies. We're our own worst enemies. And it's so sad. And it's time to heal this shit. It's time to like check out of the distractions. And I'm sitting back here like this, right? Eating healthy food and observing all of the mental breakdowns that people are having right now. Dude, I get you, Adam. I'm 100% with you. Dude, I have a dream that somehow I'm going to in 200 years from now I'm going to be remembered as the guy, the revolutionist of education. And not that I up through the current system. I just want to create something that's greater than what we have so that the consumers, meaning parents, will say, you know, I want to send my kids to what this guy's teaching because it's that is where the that's where the solution lies, Adam. The solution for us to truly transform this planet is to teach from the earliest age children how to emotionally self-regulate, validate, create boundaries, right? How to truly heal emotions real time versus building that big reservoir in oblivion and then growing up and being a dysfunctional adult wondering why the fuck your life is so fucked. If we can do that from the earliest age, we eliminate the suffering on this planet. But I promise you, man, most of this shit's by design. So I'm trying to decode how to figure this out. And what I'm mostly doing is, I'm talking to the children inside of these adults, which is a challenge because there's conflict. There's internal conflict in most of us. Most of us have internal conflict. But again, it takes what most people could do that would change their life would be to start journaling, writing all this shit down. The prime creator's conscientiousness. That sounds good. I like the sound of that, Lico. And that's what's so important. That's what sabotages us so much. And if I'm flat out honest with you, in my own salvation Christian story, which I was all in, man, I was straight up preaching the word, preaching the word, teaching the word, kids kingdom, singing the word, you name it, man, worship, all of it, all the above. But the one thing I couldn't figure out was, why was I still all fucked up underneath the surface? Why was all of this devotion, like full of the zealousness, like praying? I used to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, reading the Bible and praying and quiet time and just being washed in the word. And I would still just be 111, right? Just totally a mess underneath the surface. And I was sober, but I was still a mess. I had no control over my emotional state of being. Well, then, as I had just continued to progress through this experience of the spiritual awakening, which is different than a religious experience, was I realized that most of us, the reason why you are so conflicted on the inside is because your subconscious is what holds the key to your emotional state of being, and you're not going to control that. And that was my biggest Achilles heel. That's what caused me so much of my anguish and just fuck ups in life, was the fact that when your button gets pushed or that trigger gets pulled, you run a subconscious program. It's a survival program. It's something that it's something that your brain and your subconscious have worked out, that it's a protection program. Because of things you've experienced, your brain and your subconscious say, we don't want that to ever happen again. Thank you, Aerosmith. We say, we don't ever want that to happen again. So we're going to create a program and an alert system. It's not even an alert system. It's just going to be a monitoring system. So it's just monitoring all the time, that when something clicks that throws you off, right? It runs the program. And that program, it's like all the way that I can explain it is, I just can remember so many times doing things where I was trapped in my own body, as my body's like creating havoc and chaos and confrontation. And it's like I was helpless. I couldn't stop myself. I didn't know what to do. It was an autopilot program. And I used to explain it to my therapist. I don't understand. What the fuck? What's wrong with me? How come I feel like underneath the surface is this lava and I don't get to choose when it erupts, but when it does, that motherfucking beast comes out and it just starts fucking shit up like a bull in a china shop. I could not do it anymore. I had to figure out what in the fuck is going on with me. I can't say it any more plain and clear, because what it was costing me in terms of relationships, inner peace, turmoil, regret, guilt, shame, anger, frustration, self-hatred. I'm like, what the fuck, man? This can't be it. There's got to be more. That's awesome, Adam. That's a great reflection, brother. That emotional intelligence is so key, and that's the key to emotional intelligence. A lot of people think they're emotionally intelligent because you understand your emotions. No, true emotional intelligence is when you know how other people are feeling, and you can name what they're feeling just by their look and what vibe they're putting off. You can connect with it and then have empathy for it. Hold space for that. Thanks, editor. I appreciate that kindness. That's great. So yeah, that's a little bit of a tangent. Again, I guess this former Navy corpsman is dishing out the big pills tonight. That big medicine. But it's what people need, right? We need the medicine. Y'all want to just keep getting patted on the butt saying it's not your fault. It's okay. Right? Don't worry. Everyone is going through something. And it's like, yeah, but you don't have to go through something forever. You can take ownership of your life and start doing something to fix some things. It is one of the greatest gifts, just being present, to be present. That's why it's called, right? That is one of the greatest gifts, to just be present with someone else. And unfortunately, for a lot of my life, I was unable to do that. And it had a lot to do with the fact that I was carrying around massive amounts of unhealed trauma. I had a massive revelation this week. Did I tell you guys about this? I think it was in one of the videos. Massive revelation this week in Breathwork. Major download. And I realized how cruel, I'm going to use the word cruel. And it's something that modern society, I watch a lot of relationship things. I'm always kind of monitoring relationships because I always believe if you improve the relationship you have with yourself, you'll improve it with others. So I like listening to a lot of people talking about relationship do's and don'ts, modern, just to hear what's out there. And I realized how cruel the silent treatment is. It's cruel. Ghosting is cruel. It's so cruel. You literally, and yet we've made it acceptable. It's socially acceptable. It's like, oh, I've only known that person for, we went on a date or we're talking phase. I don't know him nothing. I can be cruel. I don't need to value that human's life. And it's like, no, that shit's cruel, man. Like, and the what I realized in my own, I had a download is I've used the silent treatment on others. And this is when you really know you're getting some traction in life, is because you no longer just look at it through when it happens to you, it's so bad, it's so terrible, but you're able to say, oh wait, no, I've done this too. So you're seeing the duality, you're seeing it the full length mirror, that when you feel someone doing something to you and it's making you insecure and making you feel like, unloved, ignored, disrespected, unlovable, whatever it is. And yet when you've done a lot of work, when you're able to see that, okay, well, I've done it. And see, most people have a hard time with that. And we've just allowed it because I don't care what stage of the game it is, what stage of a connection you're in, to just shut off. It's a trauma response is what it is. And yet what a healthy person, right? Because I can always filter, okay, what is the wounded version of me uses silent treatment. Says, you know what? F you. I don't want to talk to you. So I'm just gonna shut down and I'm gonna ignore you and I'm just gonna not give a fuck. And yet the healthy version of me understands that I understand the root of where that came from in myself. Right? Where did that come from? The silent treatment comes from a fear of either of saying or doing the wrong thing. And it also comes from if you were a child and you were put in isolation a lot, when you had to self-soothe your emotions. So you'd be sitting there, right? And you're alone, your emotions aren't valid, and so you just learn how to just like cope. And so I had this whole revelation come through this week. I felt guilt and shame because I know I've used that, and kind of recently, actually. But it was beautiful because I was able to find my voice to say, I don't need to be silent. I can communicate any truth anytime. And even if that hurts somebody, because it's sort of like a fear of abandonment, right? There's a fear of abandonment there, to where it's like you don't want to say the wrong thing and you're trying to avoid hurting somebody, which is an avoidant pattern. And it's like, no, just speak your truth. Just speak your truth. And it's like I found my voice. I've been healing this throat chakra in a major way to really speak more clearly and not have fear that if, you know, if someone is going to use like that definitely I am making a vow right here, right now. And I've made it with myself. I made it with the great spirit that I will never use silent treatment ever again for any reason. Right? I will communicate what is going on. And that doesn't mean that if me and the person obviously go our separate ways, at least there was communication for me to say, hey, I have needs right now. Because a lot of times what I realized is when I've used a silent treatment, it's because I'm overwhelmed and I need space. And it's a dysfunction that I grew up in, where in my dysfunction growing up, my family would always create conflict in order to have like a fallout. Go to your corners, or, not even talk to each other for years, man. Years, decades even. I know people that hadn't talked to each other still for who knows, too long. And that's a really, that revelation coming through this week gave me a lot of healing to find my voice, to say, I no longer am afraid to speak truth, to understand that even if I'm feeling overwhelmed. I mean, that's been one of the biggest powers of learning and growing and healing, is saying what I think a lot of women, what women have a better grasp is over how to communicate, especially when it comes to emotions and needs. Men, we don't really have that. Because for so many men, you weren't able to express emotions, and a lot of your shit got just suppressed. And that suppression is what causes you to kind of walk on eggshells when something's off with someone you care about. You don't want to say the wrong thing, depending on what kind of punishments or shit you dealt with growing up. And yet, for me to be able to heal that inside of myself, to acknowledge, right? And I did a forgiveness ritual because I knew I had used it recently, and I know that it's a cruel thing to do. And yet I had someone do it on me, and I was feeling it. I was feeling the insecurity. I was like, what the fuck? Why is this person not, why aren't they fucking responding to me? It's been days. What the hell's going on? And I was getting all insecure, it gave, the beauty of it is I found medicine in my insecurity. I said, wow, I'm feeling insecure right now, which means that I have still some codependency issues that need to be resolved. And so I was able to sit in that. It was painful. There was pain in sitting in emotions, but I sat through it. And then I communicated to that person. And I said, you know what? Like, I went to like the universe, right? Spirit. I went to spirit first, and I said, look, I have now figured out that I no longer need to learn this lesson. I no longer will use this, and I no longer need to have people show up in my life that are unhealed and do not have their own self-respect, their own self-love, and their ability to communicate to me. I don't need to learn that lesson anymore. And that's a powerful lesson in and of itself, is that when you can see patterns in your life, pattern recognition is so important, because that is where you can zero in. And if you really are ready to release that, but you first got to fix it in yourself. Like I said, I was seeing it in somebody else and they were doing it to me. And I'm like, oh shit, I see that I've used this as a pattern in my life. And I need to take responsibility for that. I need to take ownership. I need to create forgiveness. I need to ask for forgiveness, right? And not call somebody up, but just do the ritual of saying, you know what, please forgive me. Like, wow, what a cruel thing to do. And I've used it. But then the final piece of that is saying, I no longer need that lesson. I no longer need to attract people that are unable to communicate, because I now believe I am somebody that will find the words in any situation to clearly communicate what my needs are or how I'm feeling. And because that is who I am now, I just elevated myself to attract that type of person. Hopefully that makes sense. And that was a huge breakthrough for me. I was like kind of happy dancing. I was so excited. And when I did reach out to this other person that was using like the ghost or whatever, the silent treatment, I was like, man, thank you so much for your medicine. I just want to thank you for the medicine, because if you hadn't done that, I wouldn't have sat there and realized that there was something I needed to see in myself, work out in myself. And even if this only lasted for just this long, I am so grateful for you for coming into my life and giving me that medicine that I needed, because I guarantee you I'm not going to be experiencing that no more. That's what's powerful. And I can see that I've actually healed that in a few areas of my life with the type of people. If you're able to be honest with yourself and realize the kind of people that you're attracting and the things that you don't like about those people, to realize, and this could be this doesn't have to be lovers, this could be coworkers, family members, new friends, acquaintances. Self-mastery is absolutely amazing, love. Thank you. I agree. Self-mastery, to know thyself, to love thyself, to take care of thyself, and then to share, right? To share. This is now the sharing. I'm sharing this medicine with the world, and I'm proud of myself for getting to this place. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. And it's what's cool is, even to this day, I'm still learning and working and growing and having fun learning new things and trying new things. And that's why I'm really excited about the breath work. I'll plug that again right now. Starting in May, I'm going to be doing a breath of life healing circle Sundays at 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. And you can sign up now if you go to Results Kill Excuses and click on the link. Go to resultskillexcuses.com and click on the link, Breath of Life. And it's going to be powerful. That's going to be a powerful group. I've been getting downloads on. It's going to be really, really powerful in terms of people really showing up to release, to reflect, and to be set free. We're going to heal a lot, man. There's going to be a lot of healing, a lot of breathing, a lot of healing coming through. Thank you, Abby. Yeah. Good luck finding where my home is. I'm out in the middle of the national forest. I don't got neighbors, and I'm not in a neighborhood. Yeah. It's so beautiful out here. I wish I could take you guys outside. You guys could see out here. It's so dang beautiful out here. I'm so grateful for this spot. So peaceful. I hope that you can create some peace and harmony in your spots, wherever you're at. this spring season is a great time to start doing some doing some makeovers. It doesn't have to be major, but like if you haven't like got yourself some new sheets for the bed, it's a good time to maybe do a little sprucing up, your bed space, your living space, minimizing if you can, releasing some things that need to be released. That's great to hear, Bruce. Yeah, that's tough. I went 21 years. A lot of silent treatment in that, man. A lot of silent treatment. And it's cruel. That's all I can say, man. People that are trying to justify it, you don't know. Thank you, Michael. Yeah, you don't know them, nothing. I'm like, I'll be honest with you. We all get to have our own standards. And so what you tolerate is what you're welcoming into your life. But it also, again, you have to emit it. This was the kind of the topic today, is what energy do you emit? For me, I realized I've used that and I understand the root. I always go back to the root. I'm like, oh shit, I used that a month ago, the silent treatment, because I didn't want to say the wrong thing or hurt this person or be offensive or whatever it is, right? Or even just be able to express my needs. But I always go back to the origin. You have to go back to the time machine. Where does that come from when you're afraid or avoidant to tell somebody something? Just, I mean, man, it's like that's the golden rule. Treat others the way you want to be treated. If you're someone that ghosts people because you just lost interest, that's the biggest bullshit, man. Well, it takes 5 seconds, 10 seconds to type a text saying, hey, it's been nice to get to know you. Nice meeting you. Unfortunately, this is not the type of connection I'm looking for right now. Have a, wishing you all the best. That's like the most beautiful thing you could do. And yet we give ourselves, we've set the bar so fucking low for standards that it's like everybody can be their own fucking dumpster fire. And it's okay. It's great. Yeah, wonderful. It's like, not maybe for you that's wonderful. For me, no. Right. I keep raising my bar as I get stronger, as I heal. Right. And it's, it's one of those things. Like, I grew up in a house where lots of fights, man. Everything was there's so much stress. There was so much conflict and money, always money, fights over money and fights over all kinds of shit, man. And just how even people would talk to each other, just always yelling, it's like everybody's always yelling. And I introduced that into my family back in the day. And it's terrible. I'm trying to undo all that damage. And I can at least own it, man. Like it takes a tremendous amount of courage to own your mistakes. Just like I did in this example here, where I realized, oh shit, man, someone's giving me the silent treatment right now, and it's making me feel insecure and ignored and rejected. And it's like, it gave me an opportunity to heal some shit in me and realize that, you know what, I've used that. I know where it comes from now, and I'm done. I don't need that lesson anymore. I've released that. I will step up and communicate my needs. It's safe to communicate. Do you all feel like you can communicate in all situations? Thanks. Only fee. That's pretty good. I mean, to be able to check out for 2 months, that's a powerful thing. And be able to start loving yourself. Self-love is the core. Self-love is the essence of it all. Learning to love yourself. If you can love yourself genuinely and authentically, again, the relationship you have with yourself is the relationship you have with others, right? And most people think taking care of other people is taking care of themselves. Why can't you love yourself, Loading? Why can't you love yourself? You can't, we have to learn that it's okay. It's safe. It's safe to love yourself. It's safe to. It's safe to love ourselves no matter what we've done, no matter what we've been through, to be able to wake up in the morning and to appreciate yourself and to say, you know what, I'm going to make today a little better than I was yesterday, right? That's the whole premise behind this, right? 1% better everyday journal. I see a lot of people are checking it out. Don't just check it out. This makes journaling easy. But if you wanted to start loving yourself more, you get to start with right here in these two jars, gratitude and I loves. And then this one is like, I feel that I am the best. And then you got a few other affirmations there. I am worthy to have good things happen to me today. I'm ready to accomplish what matters to me today, right? Learning to care about yourself, it is a process. It doesn't happen naturally, especially most of us. We're so down on ourselves. But you got to want it. That's the thing. It's just like exercise, it's just like eating healthy. You got to do it. Yeah, that's a good reflection. User 4174. We have lost perspective. And in many ways, you have to look at how many things are just pulling at our attention right now. Everything wants your fucking attention. Everything wants your energy, because where your attention is, that's where your energy goes, right? You flow. Where you put your attention, boom, man, you are giving that energy. So thank you to everyone that's putting energy here. I truly believe at least I am reciprocating it, right? I'm giving back the energy to you in terms of shining a light, giving you some encouragement, and definitely a lot of medicine. There's a lot of medicine in what I'm saying because it's challenging. It's not popular, right? Because I'm saying, look, you absolutely have the power to turn your entire life around. It does not matter where you're at, what you've been through, how old you are, whatever you think bad about yourself, you absolutely can make some improvements. There's not one person listening. Yeah, bottle of medicine with nice hair. I appreciate that, Jordan. There's not one person listening that you couldn't improve one thing. Someone name something that you think is like, I there's no way that I could improve this part of my life. Does anybody have something like that? Thank you, love. Does anybody have something where they're just like, you know what? I can't. There's this one thing in my life I cannot make it better. Yeah, shed that old skin, man. And at least what I'm in the process of doing here is building a community. Yeah, it's all natural. I don't do nothing with this thing. I don't even put nothing. This is natural hair, man. I've never had my hair this long. I was talking to a guy today at the gym, 57. He's in great shape. I'm in great shape. And he had his hair long, but then he got a nice clean cut. And I was like, hey, man, you look good, bro. Fresh cut. Looks good, man. And he's like, yeah, I wanted to give it a try. I never had my hair long. I was the same way. I've never had my hair long. This came out of the old pandemic. It just felt right. I just didn't really feel inspired to get a haircut. I wanted to try something new. And I had a lot of people trying to tell me what I should do with my hair. I don't know why we get so caught up on trying to give people opinions about what we think that someone else should do with their life, which is sort of what I'm doing here, right? Here's what you should do with your life. That's probably why none of you guys want to hear this shit. You're like, I can't take this, man. This guy's just like, thank you, sir. Sir Roba. Kimmy, thank you. It's like, yeah, I'm trying not to. I try not to. I get a little fired up sometimes. Like, man, if I could wave the magic wand, fuck, I would get all of you guys locked in. I would get all of you guys locked in, doing the work, getting on the app, getting all these courses knocked out, right? Really going all in on you, getting in the 1% Better Every Day journal, getting into the breath work, breath of life healing circle. That one's going to be incredible. I'm straight up telling you, be ready for the promotions. I got to do a bunch of promotional stuff tomorrow, video wise, to really put together the whole blast. And thank you, Adam, for signing up. We already got some signups, and I didn't even, this guy's looking, obviously. He's researching because he found it. He found the link before it was even really made public. But I've been talking about it. Everybody's loving the hair. Thank you, you guys. But I'm not even, this no cap, no lie. The Breath of Life Healing Circle, you got to do a monthly membership. If you're interested in finding out more information about that, go to resultskillexcuses.com and click on the Breath of Life online group link at the top. I'm literally going to do a money back guarantee. But here's the kicker. If you come to the class and you show up prepared and breathe, and at the end of 3 sessions, you're like, this was the dumbest shit I've ever done, which isn't going to be the case. I'm all in on the breath, right? To be able to consolidate the journaling, the visualization, and the healing breath work, oh man, we're going to be healing. People are going to be healing. I had a vision today, man. There's going to be 100, there's going to be 1,000, there's going to be 1,000 people in the group. 1,000 people all over the world. Like, we're going to be literally hand in hand all over the world, breathing, man. It's going to be beautiful. I don't know, man. I don't know if that's a tame beard or not. Nah, dude, I'm about as straight as a fucking sword. These motherfuckers. Yeah, I do coaching. If anybody's interested in some transformational coaching, reach out, Greg at resultskillexcuses.com. You can go to resultskillexcuses.com. There's a lot of information up on there. Yeah, thanks, Jenga. Nice to meet you, Steve. Man, there's a lot of you looking at the products. You guys should be pulling the trigger, getting this 1% Better Everyday Journal. I want it. I'm going to put together a small workbook for that group. And because you signed up too, man, yeah, that's the other thing that we got coming out, right? These guys right here, these bracelets. So I'll be sending you one of these, Adam. I'm going to be sending you one of these. It's part of that gift. I'm doing these myself. This is a really good energy. Blocks all that negative energy right there. Got hematite, tiger eye, onyx. But I am going to be putting together a workbook for that. I'm finishing designing right now, so that the thing about when you're doing when you're doing the visualization and you're definitely doing the breath work, there's so many downloads that come through. There's messages that come through and there's downloads that come through. And so when you come out of those, you need to write it down. You got to document that shit, because I guarantee you're going to be getting things that are going to be, you're going to start to tap into some creative inspiration for some things for you to start acting on. That's going to probably open up and shift some areas of your life in a major way. I mean, I've been following the breadcrumbs that I get downloads, and they're definitely leading to more and more and more and more and more. And so I sit there and I just write it down. So I want to have a workbook available for people. That's my way of doing it. And then obviously there's going to be some journaling exercise. Thank you, Baron. I appreciate all you guys. Thank you for everyone that's tuning in here. We're talking about breath work. We're talking about the Results Kill Excuses, Breath of Life Healing Circle. That's a group. Are your downloads visual? Yeah, I mean, a lot of my downloads are absolutely visual. Yeah, I have a lot of Claire gifts, so a lot of my downloads are visual. A lot of them are audio. It's a mix. I have a total mix of the downloads that I receive. Yeah, both the visual and the audio. So, and it's just important to document that, especially when you're in that conscientious state of being. That's when you're really opened up to really hearing the things that when you can get yourself to that place where you can hear the things you need to hear, write it down, and then act on it, I guarantee you're going to start seeing some movement in your life. Thank you, totally, Trish Pats. I screwed up your name there for sure. I'm too scared to use my picture. What is this person talking about? Yeah, that's a big one. That's common. So definitely the more that you start taking these leaps of faith, I mean, you're calling it an attack. I would say it's, some of it is, some of it's attack. A lot of it's resistance, right? It's just your own creation of resistance. Here's a total admission. I got called out this week, big time. I got called out big time because I dropped the ball. In regards to the 1% Better Everyday Journal, which if you haven't ordered yours yet, you're missing out. There's a whole lot of videos that are there that are part of the coursework. And the videos that I've made, I hadn't finished. I didn't finish the last 4 videos. And I had someone that was like an incredible, consistent person, and this person was like, hey, I'm missing a video here, and I was like, oh shit, I better I'm slacking, man, I'm falling behind, this person's way too on it. And so they got to the end and they fucking lit me up because I didn't finish the videos. I was missing 4 videos, not anymore, they're all there, promise. But that's an accountability piece. Like, I definitely don't have excuses for that. I needed to hear that. Sometimes we got to fail in order to win, to make things better. But yeah, I had definitely, maybe, I don't want to say bit off more than I could chew. I just, for whatever reason, I just lost sight of the videos. And I got called out on that. And I'm grateful for the person that called me out, because that's what we need. right? It's the same medicine I'm giving you guys, calling you out, saying, hey, you got to do this shit. And it's like, I'm right there with you, right? Divine intervention. It's like, I'm right there with you. I'm still very much human. I'm still very much working on improving myself 1% better every single day. And I can get very ambitious, and I put this out there, and I hadn't finished those last 4 videos. They're finished now. So everything's good now. The entire book, the entire course is complete. And, but that's how I am in all things, is wanting to be authentic, right? Just like I'm never going to use silent treatment on somebody, right? I'm never going to tell a lie. And I used to tell a lot of lies. And I know where that came from too, right? Right. It came from when? From my childhood, right? Getting in trouble with my mom, her losing her shit on me. I was like, man, I don't want to be treated like this. That's great. I'm glad to hear that, Adam. I put a lot into it, bro. I put a lot into it, I didn't want to cut corners, and I've got a lot of things going on. And so just in the healing work that I did with that 1 week workshop that I did with the breath work to get certified, part of that pulled me back to be able to really sift through myself and say, why am I doing this, right? And there's a part of me that struggles with why I'm doing this, because am I really doing this for me? Is this all for me? Is this just about me? It's not about me no more. And I struggle with that because so much of my life as a single child, growing up, spending so much time alone in isolation, it's hard for me to think that someone else gives a fuck on what the hell I'm doing. And yet I've passed that threshold to where it's like, for me to not put a message out, for me to not complete this thing, it was, that's what the point I was getting to is, there's a book called The Big Leap, and there's an upper limit problem. So I was hitting an upper limit problem where it's like, a lot of people are starting to buy the journal, and the journal's there, and I'm doing other things and moving in other directions and still doing this and that. And I hit an upper, it's basically, it was self-sabotage, right? To be able to say, like, I'm right there, 4 videos. I literally recorded the videos. It took me like, I don't know, man, not even 20 minutes. It wasn't even a lot. It's 30 minutes, 40 minutes. But I was self-sabotaging. I had hit that upper limit where I was like, man, I don't know if I'm worthy of all this. I don't know if people really give a shit that I'm doing this. If people are really listening, am I still spinning in the wind? And I have to constantly remind myself that when I read the comments from people that are listening to the message and sharing their vulnerabilities and saying, fuck, bro, like, this shit's helping me. It's like, it's no longer about me. For me to not get on here is selfish as fuck. It's so selfish. And that's an ego thing where you're like, oh, I'm just on here for the likes and the follows and all the people. And it's like, it's not about that. This is the difference, right? The yap, 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 right? Not world of t-shirts. The yap, yap, yap is the old influencers, right? People that literally are just like talking about bullshit. What we're talking about here, though, man, is value. It's medicine. It's life, right? Old influencer 1.0, which is steadily falling by the wayside because it's not holding people's attention anymore. It's like, why are we watching this shit? There's no return on your investment of time and energy other than you're seeing someone else rise in wealth and attention. And yet, what are you getting from it? You're just a fan. Versus you're sitting here for an hour or two, we're going on 2 hours, and it's like, everything that I'm presenting to you is an opportunity for you to be better. It's me shining the light on you. It's me turning a mirror on you saying, look, man, like, I've healed myself. I've figured some shit out, and I continue to figure out new things because I'm trying to decode this. I'm trying to get the process for people to heal to such a clear, finite method that it's like we can really start moving people through the process that are ready, so that people can literally start living their best lives and expanding into the best version of themselves and living from that place, which is incredible. And that doesn't mean your work is done. It just means that you get to show up every single day and be a better version of yourself. You get to show up in life every single day and just have appreciation. Versus just sitting there and saying, I need to be distracted today. I need something to take my mind off of my life. And it's like, wait, what? Your life is the most important thing. And it's the only thing that you actually have control over. And I think a lot of people struggle because if you're still into like a party scene, social scene, which I know what that was like. I used to be the biggest party animal on planet Earth. Like, it's hard to think that sobriety's fun, but I think even society is starting to shift, slowly shift to where even that, man, poisoning yourself is not fun. What's the best way to battle against escapes? That's a great question. What's the best way to battle with escapes? Well, you always got to know, if when you give up one thing, you always pick up another. So you kind of have to have a strategy, right? First, understand what is your escape, and there's a lot of self-awareness that needs to happen when it's like, what triggers you to move towards that escape? So if the escape is gaming, if the escape is porn, if the escape is any kind of substances or chemicals, right? What are you thinking about before? What triggers that craving, that desire to go and put your time and energy on that? You got to be a detective with this. And as you start to figure out your patterns, then you can start to figure out how to create some boundaries around that. And ultimately, at the root of all that is healing emotional wounds. Because for most people, the overeating that's going on in this country, thank you, Sarah. I appreciate that compliment. The thing that's going on with most, especially the eating, right? The eating is such a huge issue. And so I can, through my own experience, I gave up the alcohol and then I started eating the sugar. I wanted sugar. I got the sweet tooth. We're talking about life. We're talking about healing. We're talking about sobriety right now. We're talking about escapes. We're talking about vices and trying to kick those things out of our lives, break up with them. Man, some of these people, so funny. So when you're dealing with the things, again, when I had the sweet tooth, I know that when I started having thoughts, it's understanding your thoughts. Everything starts with the thoughts. That's why mental health is the most important one. The mental health is the most important one. If you're putting chemicals into your body, substances, you're trying to, that's a losing battle. So if you want to be victorious, you got to get the mind right. Get the mind right. And once you do that, you can start putting in the work to do the self-discovery to figure out, what are your patterns? What are your patterns of pain? What are the situations that you keep having a broken record on, right? Because you got to have that awareness. You got to be able to see what's really going on in your life, right? And we are creatures of habit, so the patterns are so obvious. Once you start putting together, it's like, it's like the little connect the dots, right? You start connecting the dots, and you're like, oh shit, this pattern. Wow, that's a pattern. It's like the pattern I saw with the silent treatment, and knowing that, man, that goes all the way back to me not feeling that I could express myself for fear of punishment or abandonment or rejection. Yeah, the healing potions don't exist. You got to do the work. You got to do the work. I call them magic tricks. There's no magic tricks here. We don't do magic tricks. So if you want to do the work, you can absolutely see some major improvements in your life. You got to put in the time, you got to put in the focus. If you don't put in the time and the focus to figuring yourself out, that's what it's all about. Looking in the mirror. I can't say that any clearer. You have to be willing to sit there and look within yourself. That's looking in the mirror, looking within to such a depth that you understand yourself. And it's not with criticism. And that's the problem. So many of us, the shadow side of who we are, right? Some people say it's darkness. Well, darkness is not evil. I heard this the other day and I love this. Darkness is a lack of information. Because in the light, you can see things. But in the dark side of who you are, you don't see things. So that's a lack of information. You're not wanting to see what's there. But once you shine a light in there and you start really like assessing what's really going on inside of you and figuring out where is the origins, the root. Yeah, that's a great Tarman. Yeah, that's a great quote. Conquering self is the truest form of success. It really is. Thank you, Musa Milk. The darkness doesn't enter the light. You have to take the light into your darkness. You shine the light on the darkness. That's what I did. And when you say darkness, it's not evil. It's just information. One of the coolest journal exercises that I did was literally getting a piece of paper, right? Drawing a line right down the middle. Getting a piece of paper, drawing a line right down the middle. On the left side, right, light. On the right side, darkness. And I literally started writing out all my ego strokes, all the good things that I am, healthy, strong, handsome, intelligent, creative, everything you'd put on a dating profile. And then on the right side, I started writing down all the dark shit, all the bad things. I'm a liar, I'm a cheater, I'm an alcoholic, all these, just a lot of like really raw things. And it doesn't, like, we're so afraid of like seeing ourselves in that light. That's why when you call someone out and you see, I experienced this a lot in my marriage, right? My ex would be doing something and I would kind of, observe it and call her out on it. And then guess what she would do? I'm not being like that. You're being a da 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 da. Which it's, a relationship is a full length mirror. But it's like, I couldn't, for me to call her, like, she wouldn't accept that. She didn't want to, like, and the sad thing is that was probably her way of saying, I know that about myself, but I don't want you to see that in me. So like, don't say that. And so she's trying to shut that down by denying it. Right. And we do this. And so it takes that level of conscientious clarity and sobriety to be able to assess yourself without judgment. You got to leave the judgment, right? You have to leave the judgment aside, especially when you're assessing yourself. You're already hard enough on yourself. But it's like, it feels so good when you can just write out. And here's what I experienced. When I finished my list, the light and the dark, when I fleshed out everything I could think of, all the bad things that I have ever done and all the good things, guess what? Those lists were equal. It was equal. They were totally equal. And in that moment, what happened to me is that the light shined on that shadow self, and what I would call my inner beast could be seen and accepted by me. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. I was able to accept that, yes, I have this other aspect to who I am. And it doesn't mean I show up with that everywhere I go, but it is absolutely there. And I can accept that and I can see it. And when you do that, you reduce the amount of internal conflict you have with yourself, because you now see yourself in the fully light. And here's what happens. When the light and the dark combine, you get integration. It integrates. And so now the dark aspect of who I am can be transmuted into being used for love, for protection, for strength, not for, denial and anger and fear. I can use it in a virtuous way because the dark energy is very powerful. But to use it to be virtuous, to be noble, versus using it because I'm being defensive, I'm in denial of my own self, and then I'm getting argumentative and fighting with people. And that was a very freeing. Yeah, the necklace. Asexual Andrew. Yeah, this is a meteorite. It's a meteorite. It's got an interesting um, stamp where this little cutout here, there's a dragon, but that cutout is actually, it's an error. It wasn't broken, it's an error, but it's meteorite. Really cool. And I made the necklace. Citrine and bloodstone, some tourmaline. Yeah, it's a powerful piece. Thanks. So this whole entire journey is an opportunity for every single person here listening to get honest with themselves about themselves. That's why self-discovery is number one. Because when 5 years ago, when I went through my divorce, it was like I woke up and I'm like, who am I? Who am I? I can't claim that I'm so and so's husband anymore, right? I don't think I ever want to claim that I'm on so and so's team that I'm not. My team, I'm not that. That seems fake. That's a lie. How many of y'all live and die by that? My team, and it's like, really? Are you sure? Are you sure are you sure? Are you really wanting to borrow someone else's success because you're an observer? Yeah, I get that all the time. I get that all the time. I love anytime someone makes a celebrity reference to me, I always just take that as a compliment. I guess it's better to be referenced to a celebrity than to not ever be referenced as a celebrity. That's a good one, Andrew. Asexual Andrew. We absolutely all have an ego, and I've been through a lot of ego deaths. I mean, I definitely think you can absolutely put your ego in its place. I think you can neutralize it, is what I would say. You can neutralize your ego where you don't have to, because I wish on this platform, I'm like, for those of you that don't know, I mean, I'm streaming on 3 platforms right now simultaneously. So there's a lot of things happening here, but I appreciate everyone that's tuning in here. When it comes to the ego, I've been through multiple ego deaths. I just went through another one. Right? I just went through a higher evolved Dark Night of the Soul. I'm wearing this is one of my favorite shirts right here. If any of you guys are looking again, a shirt, the Dark Night of the Soul series, Results Kill Excuses. These are my favorites. These are my favorite shirts. Results Kill Excuses, Dark Nights of the Soul. It's right there in the shop. But I've been through several very deep, powerful ego deaths. And I just came out of one. I think the Mercury retrograde coming out, and even just with the big Libra full moon tomorrow and Venus coming out of retrograde. There's been so many things happening, but from pretty much November last year through this past week has been an evolved ego death for me. And when I say evolved one, I've been through the little ones. I've been through the purges. This one was yeah, borrowing someone's success because you're an observer. That's a cheerleader, man. I used to be the biggest one. And yet I'm from New Mexico, Michelle. Northern New Mexico. We're all shifting, that's the truth. The most important thing is this, that you focus on your shift. And when you shift, guess what? The planet shifts. This is how we go to the new earth, is one shift at a time. Everybody, you focus on your, instead of shit, right? I probably should do a shirt that says that. Focus on your shift, right? Focus on your shift and not someone else's shit. I'm writing that down. Focus on your shift. Focus on your shift. And I promise you, everything will work out just fine. But again, we're all looking. You want to look. It's so easy to look out the window. We want to be looking at the window. And it's like, we just need to focus on our shift. Own your shift. That's the most important part of this. Right? I always say that to people I meet, man, especially girls. I'm like, man, look, if you can own your shift, I'm gonna own my shift, and guess what? We're gonna be fine. We're gonna work out just fine. But I've yet to find someone that truly owns their shift, all of their shift. Man, I appreciate this community that we're building here. It's beautiful. I hope a lot of you will consider joining, subscribing to the channel for sure, but also joining me coming up here in the month of May for the Breath of Life Healing Circle. We're going to be meeting 3 times a month, Sundays at 9. It's a paid group online, and it will include journaling, visualization, and some powerful breath work. And if you're interested in that, go to resultskillexcuses.com, and on the top or on the drop down, you can click on Breath of Life group. to get more information about signing up for that. We're starting the first week in May. I'm actually going out to Sedona, Arizona for another pretty powerful conference the last weekend in April. So I'm going to be coming right off of that into the breath work. Oh man, it's going to be so good. It's going to be so good. It's going to be so good. Man, some people, I always say I'm going to say this again because, you know, it is sick. I always say the guys that are the funniest guys, right? I hope you hear this. The funniest guys out there, their lives are the biggest jokes. Your life. The funnier you are as a guy, that means the bigger your life is a joke. It's just truth. And it's not about sarcasm. I could be the most sarcastic motherfucker on planet Earth. But at the end of the day, some of the shit that people got to say, it's just a reflection of that their life is a joke. Because you ain't got nothing to say about your life. So you might as well just put shit out there to get a fucking attention and get a laugh. And it's like, man, again, what is it getting you? Attention, right? You're hungry for attention. And it's a sad thing, right? Because I've at least figured it out that even when people are like insulting and stuff, what they're really crying for, it's their way of saying like, man, I want to be included, like I want to be heard, I wish I knew what to do other than this. This is how it goes back to childhood, right? When someone puts something unsolicited that is like offensive or stupid as fuck, and it's like, really, like you really got to post that shit. Really, that's what you come with. That's what you show up with. Grown ass motherfuckers. Some of you may be children. I don't know, but it's like that's what you show up with. It's. I guarantee you the root of that. I guarantee this. The root of that. They are screaming for help, but it goes back to the fact that they were not seen and heard as children, and so, and part of me was carries that around. I used to be the kid that, again, I spent so much time by myself that, I would get in trouble and do things to get that because it's energy, right? We really want energy towards us. It's all about energy, right? When someone's not paying attention to you, you're not getting their energy. So how do you get their energy? If you can't get it by them just volunteering it, you do something bad and then they have to fucking give you their energy. And then that's enough stimulation and enough attention, and it's a dysfunction. It's a trauma response. It's so sad. And my heart goes out to that. I mean, I again, this is someone had mentioned earlier, we should learn this stuff when we're little kids. Yes. We're teaching our kids, and I have a background in public education, higher education. We're not teaching our kids what they truly need for success, which is probably by design. We want, people to be in servitude versus being empowered and free, especially over their own emotions. Because what are we going to sell to them? What are we going to sell to all you beautiful people if you don't have all your insecurities and all your issues, that somebody's got something to make you better overnight in an instant, so you don't have to do anything, just do this and you'll feel so much better about your life? What are we going to do? What are we going to do if people are actually healed? If people are actually set free, if people don't have all the emotional issues and the need for external validation, they can focus on their creativity and their craft and be able to truly express their gift with the world. Well, I'm here for you, Tarman. I mean, I'm the gym teacher here. I mean, it's like, we're going marathon tonight. I'm feeling it. And there's a lot of people tuned in here, man. It's not that people are sensitive, man. It's just, people are sensitive, but you're sensitive too, right? I mean, it's what if they always say, if you see it, like if you spot it, you got it. So if you spot that people are sensitive, you're sensitive underneath the surface. Jack Steed. That's how it works. If you spot it, you got it. End of end of story. And that's why being neutral is so important. Neutral, right? Let your yes be a yes and your no be a no. Let your words actually mean something in this life. Contribute to the conversation, not just let me be dark humor here. Dude, go start your channel and be dark humor to you. Like that's not even the conversation we're having here. But it's you got attracted to this. You're welcome here, but be a contributor. Either hear the message or contribute instead of just being an asshat. 90s limit. I always spot it. I feel like I hurt people. We all hurt each other, bro. Don't it's just, are you gonna beat yourself up about it? Right? You have the power to work through anything that you're spotting in other people. And once you start to do that, it's all about self-love, man. Everything comes back to loving yourself, right? When you weren't loved as a child, when you weren't, when you were meant to feel like you were a burden or not good enough or, a problem, a stress, right? It's like we need that, it's like we're hungry. We're so hungry for something on the outside. And it's like, man, the sad thing is we don't teach our children, us as little kids, at how to love ourselves and take care of ourselves emotionally, right? And if we could do that and continue to reinforce that from literally the beginning, pre-K through 12th grade, to put more emphasis on emotional regulation, boundaries, value, tapping more into each individual's creative gifts, which we all have, very unique to ourselves, and then clustering people that have common gifts to be able to even collaborate and develop those gifts even more. And then as they grow, maybe then start cross-pollinating certain types of gifts to see what comes out of that. As I see 222, I have like a big vision on this of what we could do, especially because I have a background in education. I know what this is about. I know what we're putting our children through, and we've all been through it. And yet, this is how you could end suffering on this planet, would be from starting from the very beginning, right? Teaching children how to do this, how to emotionally regulate, how to have emotional literacy, instead of worrying about how to fucking spell. When right now we have technology, you don't need to spell nothing. You don't even have to type. You don't have to write nothing. Hey, computer, what's the hardest problem times the hardest problem times the hardest problem? And it gives you the answer in 5 seconds. Hey, computer, write me a 5-paragraph essay about this with like a few mistakes in it, written as a 14-year-old, and it's done in 5 seconds. So we would be a much better society and humanity if we were able to cultivate focusing on emotional literacy, values, boundaries, emotional regulation, emotional intelligence, and ultimately finding and cultivating the creative gifts that is inside each and every one of us. And being able to just focus on that, man. Focus on developing the creativity in each and every child, not having a one size fits all education. There's no way. Like 11:11 right now in Mountain Standard Time. One size fits all education, it's all bullshit. It's a waste of time. We're wasting our children's time. 13 years of forced school and they get nothing from it. I know this game way too well. I still do some recruitment work in higher ed, and I'm talking to the youth all the time, and it's like you get nothing out of 13 years of forced school. If you graduate the valedictorian of your high school and you drop out of ninth grade and you don't go to college or you don't have a skill and they both apply for the same job, if you have a high school diploma and you dropped out of school, you get the same job. You get the lowest job with the lowest pay, take out the trash and clean the toilets twice a day. That's what you get, whether you have the diploma or you dropped out. That's awesome. 90s limit. I'm looking forward. Make sure you share that channel with me when you get it up and running. I mean, the app has some free stuff on there, man. If you're looking for some work to be doing, all you need is a printer for that one. Yeah, you can get hired without a diploma. Right now, the US military will take you without a diploma. You don't know what you're talking about. You get the same job, man. Right? You get the lowest job. You get the lowest job if you show up as anyone that does not have, if all you have is a high school education or no high school education, you get the same job. You get the lowest job without any kind of skills. I'm talking about freshly minted, dropout high school diploma. Ain't no boss gonna say, you show up, I'm the valedictorian of my high school. They're not gonna be like, oh, great, man, you get a bonus. We're gonna give you this nice corner office. Like, you don't get that. You get the lowest paying job. High school diploma, great. Lowest paying job, take the trash out. I know this. I've been an employer. I've hired and fired many, many, many people in my life. I know this, and I know it on both sides. I know the education piece and I know the business side. Well, get the connects, man. What connects? What connects do you get? Oh, my kid just graduated high school. You get a little connect. You still don't get you're not going to have a salary that's going to pay your bills, guaranteed. Right? You're not going to have that. You're not going to get a salary that pays your bills with a high school diploma. You get this, right? But that's what people want to argue about. So at the end of the day, when you talk about high school, it's a waste of time. We need to literally scrap all the general ed stuff and allow for students to already either start taking college level classes, because that's where it counts, because that's where they're going to learn the skills that can hone them into a actual career plan or trade skills. And they can start doing that by seventh grade, so that by the time they finish that 6 years, they're already like proficient in whatever they want to do, from engineering to construction trade. It does not matter. But we're wasting their time playing games with general education when you got chat GPTs out there nowadays. Ain't nobody doing their work right now. Chat GPT. I am in America and I still work in higher education. I know 100% what I'm talking about. I work in higher education. I've been in higher education for 10 years. I got three college degrees. I have military experience. I've been a business owner. I know exactly what I'm talking about. And it's hard for a lot of people to listen to this because you think education matters and it doesn't. Even if you go, look, even when I talk to high schoolers right now, right? I tell them, look, go get college. I believe in college. But here's the thing, college won't get you rich. But at least in the society that we live in now, if you look at a job and if it requires college, right, you're always going to make a little more. You're going to get a little bigger of a bag if you have college. High school is this. High school is nothing. You get nothing more whether you dropped out or you have your high school diploma. You don't get more money. You get the worst, you get the lowest job with a high school diploma or a dropout. The only time it starts mattering, and most kids, if you're even adults, even if there's adults out here that you're thinking about making a career shift, the trades is the trades is really where the money is, right? I was managing a renovation of a Route 66 motel a few years back. I was the project manager and the general manager. Man, and the plumbers and the electricians that we had in there, those guys, this was a multi-million-dollar project. Those guys walked out of there with close to $1 million each. And these guys were not very educated, but they knew their trades. That's all opportunity for you 90s. Everything that you say you're not is everything that you need to become. You can't allow for those limits to hold you back. Those self-imposed, you got to realize that's self-imposed limits. So the trades is really a big flex. Obviously tech is a big flex. You know, for me, all my education is business, because for me business is, it's the most universal language, right? Even more so than English, right? If you know business, I can put myself in any environment, figure out their nuances, figure out whatever it is that they're trying to communicate and sell. And it's like, we're off to the races. You already know this. Then why are you here, man? Why are you here if you already know this? Roll, dude. Like, it's all good, man. It's all good. My ego's intact. It's totally fine. If you already know this, right? You already know all this. I used to be like that. The know it all. I know it all, man. Give me your address. I'm gonna come pay you a visit. Let's figure out the things you don't know that you're truly not walking in. Talking about knowing all this. Thank you, Jesse. What product? Just shampoo, conditioner. That's it. That's it. Everybody's, yeah, just some shampoo and conditioner. That's it. This is natural. It's not. There's nothing fancy going on in there. I haven't even had a haircut in 4 years. Thank you, love. I haven't had a haircut in 4 years. I use what is it? Alpha. You guys are getting me on freaking conditioner. Are you serious? We're not repeating after you. Here's what we'll do better. Here's what we do. Repeat after me. I think it's called Alpha. What is it? No, I use the Alafia. 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 Yeah, I don't do a whole lot of hair care over here. I know a lot of dudes that do have long hair that do it. I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. I just let it roll. I let it go wild. I let it be wild. Y'all got me fired up tonight. Thank you so much, everybody that's been tuning in here. So this is a bit of a marathon. No Diddy. Yeah, thanks. 90s. Should siblings date? Yeah, man. Definitely you and your sibling. We'll go ahead and start and end there. How about that? You and your siblings should be the ones that date. I'm not into politics at all. I ran for city council a few times. Thank you, G4G3, for those roses. Nah, I'll never vote again. It's all corrupt. What's the point? What's the point of that? Y'all think that still matters? It's just It's a big distraction. Yeah, I don't do the politics. Yeah, I'll leave that up to all you guys. Again, I'm not looking out the window. I'm looking in the mirror. Oh, look. Dang. That hat, man, they gave me my own mustache back. That's funny. That was a funny one. Y'all funny. That's cool. Thanks for that. G4, G3, man. Makes it fun. That makes it fun. This marathon going on 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours. We just grinding into the night. It's been a good talk though. I appreciate everybody that's been tuning in here. I don't know how much longer we're gonna go. We're gonna go a little longer. Let's see when we get to 10,000 likes. 10,000 likes. Come on now. What energy do I emit? I don't know. I mean, it seems like you got pretty sweet energy, Jesse. I don't know. You'd have to tell me. What energy are you emitting? Look at that. There it is. 10,000. All right. Let's go to 50,000. Crank up those likes, everybody. Crank them up. Ask yourself, what energy are you emitting? Do you carry around jealousy? Do you carry around envy? Do you carry around hatred? Whether it's opposed at yourself or inside? Thank you. Is that the impaler? The rest is weird. I heard the definition of weird today. Does anybody know the definition of weird? It means out of this world. I'll take that all day long. Thank you so much for the compliment. Did you know that? Weird means out of this world. Well, that is the prompt. That's what I'm trying to tell you. We talked about the energy. Yeah. What energy do you emit? Right? It's a self-reflection. What energy are you emitting? You can tell a lot of people emit humor, right? It's kind of like a protection thing, which is really what? Insecurity. So a lot of people are emitting insecurities. A lot of people are emitting. Yeah, I was in that boat, man. I definitely had a lot of self-hatred for my past mistakes. Yeah, I'm very kind. I'm very kind. I'm very loving. I'm very caring. I'm very masculine, but I'm also I have a very balanced energy of femininity and masculinity inside of me. I can feel my feelings, not fuck my feelings. But I definitely used to have a deep level of self-hatred, and that was a painful thing because I made a lot of mistakes. But through life we learn from our mistakes. Well, some people do. Some of us learn from our mistakes. Other people, we just beat ourselves up and we lick our wounds and we act as if. I always say this. Here's I have a hard time saying this because they sound so similar, right? Do not define yourself by your mistakes. Stop defining yourself by your mistakes. Use your mistakes to refine yourself. Do you understand the difference between refining and defining? Don't define yourself. You are not your mistakes. Those are your lessons. Those are where you learn. Yes, perfect, love. It's the lesson. It's the lesson. Your mistakes are your lessons. And that's where you learn. If that's your perspective, right? Right? If you have if the energy, right? So we're talking about emitting. If you believe that most people are takers and most people are manipulators and they'll use you, guess what kind of people are going to show up in your life? You are telling spirit, send people that are going to use me, right? You have to play a little trickery with your mind, especially when you have these limiting beliefs. and generalization. All people are bad, or rich people are terrible and greedy, or you know what I mean? Um, Homeless people stink. Whatever it is, like whatever weird little beliefs that we have on ourselves, in ourselves, everything that you emit, you get back. So if you're telling yourself, I can do something or I can't, you're right. And if you tell yourself, you know, I mean, one of the worst ones would be to be putting labels on yourself that, I'm fill in the blank, a negative thing. Spirits bring back situations that are going to highlight that level of insecurity in yourself, so that you are sitting there and saying, see, I knew it. I knew it. I knew that I was like this. And it's like, your thoughts are your reality. That is why we're going to plug it one more time. That's why the 1% Better Everyday Journal has this part right here, this big cloud, I am affirmations, so that you can reprogram your negative thinking. Negative thinking reprogramming is a big part of the Results Kill Excuses 1% Better Everyday Journal, which makes journaling fun and easy. Again, because it's not just staring at blank pages, it's not just prompts, it's having fun, filling in worksheets that are all about helping you to sort through your life's problems, to reprogram your negative beliefs, and process your emotions. It's all in here. 91 days, the Results Kill Excuses 1% Better Everyday Journal. And on top of that, you also get to watch many videos from me teaching you about subjects like self-sabotage, triggers, values, setting boundaries, how to create positive 91 days. Yeah. I was going to do 90 days, but because it's the 1% Better Everyday Journal, you got a bonus day. There's a bonus day in there, 91 days. It just made sense, right? If we're going to have it called the 1% Better Everyday Journal, right? It only made sense. But one of the most beautiful things is the fact that in here, you'll see these video prompts where it says video support, day 60, day 28. When you go to that video prompt, this is actually on the Results Kill Excuses app. You'll watch the video for this particular lesson. It's conduct internet research to find someone you admire, who inspires me, and what can I learn from their journey. And so you'll watch the video, and then it helps you, like a lesson, go through this part of the journal, which is pretty deep. It's pretty deep reflectionary stuff. So I don't trust it, but if you do support, not sure what you're saying there. So anyhow, this is a great resource. There's nothing like this on planet Earth. This is volume 1. There's 4 volumes that will take you through an entire year of doing some self-reflection every single day, journaling, learning how to journal, learning how to start your day with positive affirmations, reflecting on the things that matter to you, things you can do better, right? It's all about some self-accountability. Yeah, I appreciate you. Thanks for all the love tonight. There's been so much love. It's a pretty big audience here tonight too, so thank you. I'm grateful for everyone that's been tuning in, whether you're here to learn or here to just be entertained. You're welcome, right? You're welcome either way, as long as you're just, as long as you're having fun. I always tell people that. I'm just here to have fun. And there's nothing funner than waking up in the morning sober and starting my day with some journaling. What is this? To co-host with other creator. Who's wanting a co-host? I haven't done too much of that co-host stuff. But again, I start every single day. It's on here, right? 1% Better Everyday Journal, right there. Mindfulness. This is my morning routine, positive affirmations, breath work, journaling, meditation, prayer, grounding, sun gazing. I like to take cold showers. So again, you got the check boxes there. And so waking up sober is a part of that. Waking up in the morning. I turn the positive affirmations first thing, man. Boom, positive affirmations. Just playing in the background. I don't even have to be paying a lot of attention to them, but as long as they're playing in the background. And then I get into journaling. Then I do my breath work. And I like to go out and do some grounding and some sun gazing, go for a little walk. And that's what sets me up for success each and every day. What else we gonna do? We gonna get to 11,000? I'm surprised at how many of you guys like to stay up late. It's so far past my bedtime, but I realize a lot of people like to be up late. And that's a good thing, at least for me to be able to try and connect, try and share a message, get the message out, put the medicine out. I appreciate everybody for being on here. I'm gonna probably sign off here in just a minute. I think it's time to wrap. I think there's a pretty decent chance that I'll be on here tomorrow. I'm gonna probably do one of my favorite things tomorrow. And that's to go soak in some hot springs, to get in a cold river and get in some hot springs in a cold river to get a little more sun. I appreciate you following me. And yeah, I'm gonna do the self-care thing. So it'll be hard to say. Hopefully I'm not too tired to get on here. But I do want to get on, keep getting on here, keep sharing this light, sharing this medicine. And again, if you're interested, thank you. I hope you guys all rest well too. I appreciate every single person that's been on here. I hope that if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel. If you're interested in doing some coaching, looking at doing some coaching, reach out to me, message me, or Greg, Greg, at resultskillexcuses.com. One of the coolest things you're going to be seeing a lot of promotion behind is going to be the Breath of Life Healing Circle online group that starts the first Sunday in May. We're going to meet 3 times a month. And there's a special offer going right now for you to save some money and get a special gift. I'm going to send you one of these energetic bracelets that I am making myself. I'm using some of my own creativity. Thanks, Adam. I appreciate you, bro, so much. Appreciate those messages you sent me. I still need to listen to the second one, but I'm going to hit that up in the morning. And so we will, yeah, what time is it? I'm down to finish. There's a lot of people on here. I'm down to finish with some breath work before I fully sign off here. I don't think we'll do visualization tonight, but if anybody would like to join in doing a little bit of breath work, I think even me, I'm kind of in my head right now, and I would like to get in my body, especially before I go to bed, sort of just kind of let all my thoughts melt away, get into my body. So if anybody here, if you're new here, I'm a certified pranayama breath coach. and I love guiding people in breath work. I do visualizations as well. And so if you'd like to do some breath work right now, type a one in the comments so I know who wants to participate in the breath work. But we'll be doing the breath. And again, it's a little preview. It's a little preview. Again, when I do it on this platform, everybody's just kind of here, and there's a lot of gossipy people and people popping in and people popping out. And that's why I truly do believe in creating the container and having the Breath of Life Healing Circle online group, so that the people that show up there, right, it's a paid membership. It's going to be a very supportive group. We're going to get a lot of healing done, a lot of breathing done, and a lot of breakthroughs. And so I'm really excited about that group and to be able to offer that out there to the world, people all around the world breathing. We already have some international people, so I can tell that I've had visions. Some of the downloads I've had in my breath work, which this will really open you up for really receiving some if you're trying to tap into your intuition, if you want to it'll even help you to start to prepare your body to release some of the trauma, specifically emotional, sexual, or childhood trauma. And yet in the breath work, I did a workshop a few weeks back. It was an 8-day workshop, very immersive. I became an eagle. Someone is asking if I have visuals. My visuals are visual. I also have audio, so clairvoyant and clair audio. And so I became an eagle, and I just started going up and up and up and up and up, like from the room I was in all throughout like the region. And then eventually I circled the whole world. I just kept seeing myself and creating a container over the world. So I do know that the message that's inside of me is meant for a global audience. I know that the medicine I bring is for the earth, for humanity, people all over this planet, and that's a beautiful thing. So if you would like to join us in some breath work, you're more than welcome to do that. You can pop off, you can just observe. All you need to do, I highly recommend, if you have just a nice comfortable place, you can lay down with this breath work. As long as you can hear my voice, you'll be fine. What's nice about this is if you're somebody that has done meditations in the past, like myself, if I lay down, I'll fall asleep. With this breath work, it's so active that you're not going to fall asleep. So it keeps you awake. I take that back. You can fall asleep at the end when like all the juices are flowing, when all that good stuff you've created, all this energy flow in your body and activated your soul connection. And you get so relaxed once you're done with the heavy breathing that you can I pass out. I fall asleep sometimes. Thank you for that, the impaler. I get that a lot, so I'm grateful. Well, the two of you, the impaler, love, I hope many of you, right? I hope many of you will take a look at signing up for the upcoming breathwork, Breath of Life Healing Circle. It's going to be a very transformational opportunity. If you want to see some more information on it, type in resultskillexcuses.com, and in the drop-down menu, look for Breath of Life. There's a link there, and all that information's available right now. You can sign up too. There's a founders group that has a discount and some special offers. And there's a limited amount of people that are going to get that special offer. So if you're interested, now would be the time to sign up and secure your seat. With that being said, I'm going to just take a few more minutes to see. Again, if you're here to breathe, type in a 1. That way I know how many people we have here. If you just want to hang out and relax, that's cool too. I'm gonna probably turn on some music. I know some of you like to hear some music. Let's see if you can hear this. I'll probably turn on something. Alan Watts. So again, thank you everyone. Red Mama Yeti, so glad to have you here. So I'm going to demonstrate the breath that we're going to do. It's called the pranayama breath, and it's a 3-stage breath. So you're going to take 2 breaths in through your mouth and 1 exhale out through your mouth. So all the breathing is in through your mouth. You could almost imagine it like hyperventilating, but it's not. You may get little lightheaded. That's okay. Keep breathing. Just fall into the breath. Let the breath take over. And I'm going to demonstrate. You're going to take it's like you got to take 2 half breaths. First breath, low belly. Second breath, upper chest. So I'll pull back a little bit so you can see. And so you're going to go, it's all through the mouth. First breath it's a half breath. So it's like sipping through a straw, a little sip. So again, low breath, belly, chest. And it takes a little bit of practice just to get your rhythm. Don't focus, don't stress out about being perfect. Just know to try and take 2 half breaths. Don't take a big breath for the first, like, and then you're like have nothing left. And then try and cut it in half. So it's a half breath. And you can go as fast, as deep as possible. I recommend going slow. Let's go nice and slow to start. Here's the thing. Keep breathing. Your whole job is to keep breathing. So it's not like a inhale, hold, exhale. No, just keep breathing. Once we start, go ahead and keep breathing. I'm going to put a timer on it. And we'll probably breathe for about 7 minutes. And if at any time you have a parched mouth, if you want to get something that's maybe something to drink before, just to wet your whistle, right? If your head gets light, I'll check in with you guys. Just keep breathing through that. Surrender. Your hands may even start to tingle. Your body might start to tingle. It's because this is a very active breath, and it's going to really start to activate your conscientiousness for your soul, your spirit. You're going to feel your spirit start to come alive, it means it's always there, but you're getting out of your head and you're getting into your body, and you're going to start feeling this. So that's a lot of information. Let's go ahead and start by breathing, and I'll kind of lead us in that. I'll play a little bit of music in the background. And again, you can be laying down, be in a very relaxed state. If you can, close your eyes and just let your thinking mind rest. Keep breathing. Mentally tell your mind to just take a little break. Just let all your thoughts just melt away. And for the next few minutes, you're just going to focus on breathing. Nothing else. Just focus on your breath. Just keep breathing. Even when I stop breathing, I'm just giving you that example. But everyone that's here that's participating in the breath, keep breathing. I see 111. Just keep breathing. Send yourself some love. If you start feeling lightheaded, that's okay. That's exactly how you should be feeling right now. You're moving a lot of energy. If your hands start tingling, just keep breathing. You can open and close your hands, but just keep breathing. Find that nice pace. Puppy. Shh. Yeah, that's the pup. There's probably like a coyote. We got the coyote energy out here. Yeah, that's the fun part about living in the national forest. We got lots of animals out here. You guys just keep breathing. Don't worry about the puppy. She's excited. She loves you. She's my guardian. She's excited about the breath work too. She's been part of all the breath works. You guys just keep breathing. Just settle into the breath. Don't allow the distractions to take you away from that. She's just protecting all of us. That's her number one job, is to be my guardian. She's a great guardian, and I'm grateful to have her here. You just keep breathing. Now I'm going to give you an option if you've been breathing after an exhale. So as you're just keep breathing. That's the pace. It's 2 half breaths in, 1 exhale. Low belly, upper chest. Find that rhythm, find that harmony. Just focus on your breath. I'm going to give you an option here in a moment. After an exhale, if you want to take a deep breath in and do a hold, an extended hold, and just let everything, all that energy that you've been building, just let it settle. Just feel that. So if you'd like to, if you feel ready and you want to take, after an exhale, take in a deep breath and just hold that breath for as long as you can. You can exhale whenever you're comfortable, but just feel the energy. I want you to just feel in your body. Send yourself some love. Tell yourself it's safe mentally, not verbally. Mentally, tell yourself it's safe for your heart to open. It's safe to receive love. It's safe to be seen. It's safe to be heard. It's safe to release any anger, any pain, any fear, any doubt, any guilt. It's safe to be you, to be the true and authentic version of you. Just, if you've been holding your breath, you can hold for as long as you feel comfortable. Just feel that energy. It feels beautiful. That's your soul coming alive. Just allow it to come alive. Just relax in that. Relax. And as soon as you do exhale, get back right back into the breath. Yeah, that's true. I have a global purpose. My my light is, and my star is just starting to shoot. So I appreciate all of you guys being here at the very beginning of this incredible journey. But just keep breathing. Keep breathing. If you're feeling any tingling, that's okay. Just note it. Send that part of your body some love mentally. Just mentally send yourself some love. If your hands are tingling, you can open and close them and just mentally tell yourself it's safe to receive love. Just keep breathing. That's all you have to do right now. That's your only job, is to breathe and to relax, to release, to let go. Let go. Just let go. Just fall into the breath. Surrender to your breath. Again, you may start to feel a lot of tingling in your body. Tell yourself it's safe to receive love. It's safe for your heart to open. This is an activation of opening your heart to receive love, to receive joy, to receive peace, and to just surrender. Surrender all that you have, that you're holding in. Just let it go through the breath. In just fully accept this moment. Know that this is divine. I could feel the energy in this room. I could feel the energy collectively. It's a beautiful, beautiful group here, harmoniously breathing. Just keep breathing. Just keep tapping into your healing powers, the healing force within your heart, within your mind, within your soul, to just keep breathing. All right. You guys are doing awesome. Just keep breathing. Again, if you're feeling any tingling, just keep surrendering to it. If you're feeling like you almost want to stop breathing, just keep surrendering. I always kind of visualize, just picture yourself being in an airplane and you have a parachute. And when you jump out, every single time that parachute will deploy, just take that leap of faith and just surrender. Just surrender. Surrender to the love right now, to this life force energy. You guys are doing wonderful. I'm so grateful to be here with you in this breath. I'm going to just play this song. Just keep breathing. And here in just a moment, you may want to take in one more big, deep breath and just hold it. And then after that, I want you to just allow yourself to go back to your normal breathing and just soak in this energy, soak in this spiritual moment, this activation. Just soak in this activation. And I'm going to play this song when you're ready to go ahead and transition into either a breath hold and just soaking up all that energy, all that beautiful life force energy inside of you. It's all inside of you. Everything you're feeling is inside. Everything you desire is inside of you. This is your healing. This is your way of knowing that you absolutely have the power to heal everything from inside. And the breath of life is the gateway to that. I'm so thankful for you too. Thank you so much for everyone that's participated tonight. So again, take in that breath and go ahead and just enjoy this song. I'm sure that I was right. Making every better day. I pushed until it hurt. Only one thing worked. Breaking down the walls again. Breaking down the walls again. I wanna feel the sun against my skin. So I'm breaking down the walls again. How did they get so high? 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 Bringing down the walls again. Bringing down the walls again. I just want to let the sunlight in. So I'm bringing down the walls again. Bringing down the walls again. Bringing down the walls again. I wanna feel the sun against my skin. So I'm breaking down the walls again. I just wanna feel again. So I'm breaking down the walls again. Awesome, you guys. Awesome. I honestly believe this is the thing I love the most. I'm so looking forward to the Breath of Life Healing Circle that we're going to be starting up. That artist was Peter Katz, Bringing Down the Walls. Peter Katz, Bringing Down the Walls. And so the cool thing is, if you do join the Breath of Life Healing Circle, I DJ. I got lots of beautiful songs to breathe to, very deep emotional songs. It's a very safe container. We go a little deeper with a lot of this breath work. There's opportunities for you to let out some emotional release. And by that, I mean it's the freedom and the safe container for you to get a pillow over your face and scream and yell, cry, laugh, whatever you need to do to release the energy that you're holding in you. And that's beautiful, Adam. I'm so grateful, man. You're tapped into that, tapping in. And I know there's going to be just so many other beautiful people here. And that's what'll make that healing circle just so potent and powerful. So we're going to keep breathing and breathing some more. And so I did post the link there if anybody's interested in seeing and joining. Right now, I'm running a special to be a part of the founders group. There's limited spots to get a discount on the monthly membership to join the Results Kill Excuses Breath of Life Healing Circle online group. We're going to meet Sundays at 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. And the group will include kind of a Q&A connection time, a journaling exercise, visualization, and lots of this beautiful breathing. And so I'm going to be putting out some more promotional content tomorrow in terms of videos, doing a walkthrough of, suggested things to have to really make your breathing experience the most potent that you can. And I hope that many of you will sign up, get yourself a seat, because I would love to breathe with you, to help lead you and guide you through your healing journey, to activate your healing in the most powerful way possible. And so another just little pitch about the breathwork group is if you want to know like who is the group for, so it's for somebody that's carrying quiet pain and deep stories that long to be seen, held, and gently released. It's for somebody, if you're asking yourself, what is this breath work? Would it be for me? I use moon water at night and lava in the morning for the mustache wax. No, I use one called Firehouse. If you're asking if this group is for me, if any of these apply, it may be for you. If you're someone that feels the weight of emotions unspoken but is ready to let them breathe, if you're somebody that is seeking more than talk, longing for healing that lives in the body and the spirit too, this is for you. If you're someone that knows there's something more on the other side of fear, grief, and numbness, if you're someone that craves a sacred space to come home to themselves again and again, this is for you. If you're someone that desires tools that don't just soothe but transform through breath, through the pen, and through vision, this is for you. If you're someone that feels called to be witnessed, not fixed, to be felt and not rushed. And if you're somebody that is ready to remember that they are not broken, just becoming whole again, then I truly do welcome you into the Breath of Life Healing Circle online group. We are going to be starting here the first Sunday in May, and I did post a link. You could go to resultskillexcuses.com and click on the Breath of Life Healing Circle link to get more information and to sign up for the monthly membership. This is going to be a powerful one, so I highly recommend anybody that's interested in getting signed up soon, because the discount that's there is not going to last long. There's a limited space there, and the price it is going to go up. So I'm just running a promotion, founders group, and you get some special gifts. One of them is going to be one of these energy protection bracelets that has hematite, onyx, and tiger's eye. So I appreciate everybody that's shown up tonight. It's almost hard to like get off here. There's such a powerful group of people still tuning in. I'm definitely feeling all your energy right now. It's pretty fun. It's fun. It's fun to start to keep. It's fun for me to become more and more authentic to who I am, find more and more of my truth, speak my truth, heal that throat chakra to really speak it. I know in many past lives I was silenced because of my outspokenness. But I know that in this life, I'm ready to go more and more and more. We're going to speak this. It's going to reverberate all around the world. We're going to keep speaking the truth, speaking this light, and sharing this medicine with the world. So with that being said, thank you so much. I send you so much love, joy, and peace, and most of all, light. I hope that you guys have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much for all the love, so much love tonight. I'll probably be back on here tomorrow, if not for sure Sunday. I know I keep telling myself I got to put a schedule so that you guys can know to keep checking in here. That's beautiful, man. Just keep letting that flow, Adam. Let those tears flow. You may even when we start doing the group, man, that'll be something to really tap into, is, giving yourself permission to like start with the anger, the rah, and just then to let that sadness follow up with it and soak up all those tears and just let it flow, man. Set yourself free. It's so powerful. It's very powerful stuff, man. So thank you so much, everybody. I love you guys so much. Thank you for all the love tonight. My cup is full to overflowing. And I'm just so grateful to be amongst so many beautiful souls throughout this beautiful planet, this place we call home. I see you, you see me. We are one. Let's keep being one, build each other up. So thank you. I love you guys. And I will see you on the next one. You know the drill. Results kill excuses, because 46 years young. If it was easy, it wouldn't be worth it. Greg's out.